Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Bowl TV for continued coverage of the 2021 Intercollegiate Singles Championships taking place at the Spectrum Entertainment Complex in Wyoming, Michigan, just outside of Grand Rapids. My name is Aaron Smith with USBC Communications and Bowl TV, and we are excited to bring you the final two rounds before we get to our semifinalists and determine the players who will be competing on CBS Sports Network in hopes of taking home an individual national singles title. Yesterday we started off with the top 24 men and top 24 women who qualified through 4 sectional qualifiers throughout the country back in April. After a 6-game qualifying block, the top 8 received a first round bye, and then our remaining 16 competitors in each division bowled the first round of match play, 3-game total pinfall matches to determine who advanced. We now have a full house of bowlers here, 16 men, 16 women left competing at the 2021 ISC. This is a single elimination format, so no double elimination here. So this is all on the line, every round. No cushion, nothing to fall back on. Find a way to win, or unfortunately your tournament is over. So with that quick introduction of what we're doing here, this is round 2. Once again, after 3 rounds, we will know our semifinalists in both the men's and the women's divisions. I'm excited to welcome in my special guest throughout the course of the week. He's a member of Team USA. He's on the USBC Board of Directors, the 2018 PBA Player of the Year, 3-time PBA National Tour champion, Andrew Anderson, joining us once again. Andrew, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be back for another day on the lanes, seeing who is going to the TV show.
It's crazy how quick it gets there. And I think that's something that I'm sure a lot of these players were thinking about, after last night finishing up. It was a relatively early day. Obviously, it's very early in the morning here, 7:30 local time.
What time was it?
7:30.
Okay.
7 technically at the moment, but you said on the air you'd be here by 7:25, and you were here early. So
I was here early. Don't expect that too much out of me, Aaron. But, I'm here. And I'm happy to be here. I think it's going to be exciting, win or go home, or for some of these athletes, win or go back to the hotel and get ready for team event. But a lot riding on these matches, and we talk about it all the time. Getting off to a good start, getting some momentum on your side is key. So these first couple games here, I think they know how important they are.
And our matchups here on lanes 13 through 16, 13 through 16 to our left, it's going to be Katie Robb of Delaware State. She's up on the approach right now, taking on Rebecca Loker of Ottawa, Kansas. So Katie was one of the players who received the first round bye. She qualified 3rd overall. Rebecca won her opening match to advance to the second round, and then over on 15 and 16, we have Victoria Jardina from Lawrence Tech right here in Michigan, taking on Patricia Rosales of Prairie View A&M. So Patricia qualified, was actually tied for 5th place overall. So she received the first round bye. Victoria was able to win a match to advance here to round 2. But you got to think for a lot of these players, and Andrew as a Masters champion, you kind of see the bracket board, you kind of see where you want to get to. You want to make the show essentially. And these players are 2 wins away. They're 6 games away from potentially being on TV and representing their school on CBS Sports Network, which is pretty awesome. And how much you think they were thinking about that over the course of last night, waking up this morning, trying to get ready and trying not to get too far ahead of themselves?
I think it was actually tougher for those who got a bye. I do. They had more time back at the hotel, more time thinking about what today's going to feel like, what these matches are going to feel like. The ones who have already won a match to get here, they're kind of accustomed to match play now, right? They got a couple games under the belt in it. They won a match. I'm interested to see how it plays out because, there's some very interesting matchups. Last night we watched Brooklyn Boudreaux. Is that how you say it? Boudreaux. shoot lights out, or what it seemed like, on this pair in front of us. And now she has to wake up this morning and bowl against Mabel Cummings. So on both sides of the fence there, you can look at it and say Mabel got the first seed, and you know what? She won. She won a matchup with the highest score from last night. So, and then on the other side, you can look like Brooklyn was really excited to get through the match, and then she has the gauntlet to go through for what some might think. So, this is just the beauty of the format. You know, win or go home. You just don't know what it'll take to win a match, so you kind of have to just play it aggressive regardless, and then kind of feel it out from there, right? But we'll see. In front of us, we see that Rebecca gets off to a hot start with a three-bagger, and like that's just immense early pressure, right? You just do not want to fall behind early in these matches. You don't want to have to look up on a big hill to try to climb. So really important to get off to a good start here.
Andrew, you mentioned the Brooklyn and Mabel matchup. That is on lanes 1 and 2. Let's go through both the women's and the men's matches ongoing at the moment. Over on lanes 3 and 4, we'll start with the women's division. Allison Resco from Duquesne taking on Marissa Carey of Indiana Tech. Over on 5 and 6, Cassidy Corey from Mount Mercy taking on Jordan Munt from Tusculum. Over on lanes 7 and 8, we have Anna Elijah from North Carolina A&T taking on Ira Amanuddin from Mount Mercy. Over on 9 and 10, we have Isabel Allen from McKendree taking on Madison Janak from Wichita State. And then over on 11 and 12, Jenna Lair from Monmouth taking on Dakota Fakney from Stephen F. Austin. And then, of course, we have our matchups in front of us here to complete the matches ongoing at the moment. We do have a full house, and we have cameras on every pair, which is pretty nifty. Moving to the men's side, over on 17 and 18, we have Connor Novak of Notre Dame, Ohio, taking on Seth Gosson from Texas San Antonio. 19 and 20, we have Sean Quinn from Calumet taking on Jordan Monens of St. Ambrose. 21 and 22, Stephen Coker from Bowling Green taking on Jake Tolke of Thomas More. 23 and 24, Nathan Burns of Rio Grande taking on Petey Virgos of Calumet. 25 and 26, Andrew Sachs of Lindenwood taking on Andrew Gross of Wisconsin Whitewater. 27-28, Troy Owens of Lindenwood taking on Zach Denton of St. Ambrose. 29 and 30, Tyler Moore of Tusculum taking on Joshua Imhoff of Oklahoma Christian. And then on 31 and 32, Corey Hersha of Indiana Tech taking on our top overall seed in the men's division, Alec Keplinger.
That's a very similar matchup to what I was just talking about with Mabel and Brooklyn, because Corey Hersha had 690 last night, and then Alex gift for becoming the 1 seed is to go against the highest set on the men's side as well. It's crazy how that happens. I expect that to be a high-scoring match between those two. Looking across so far, there's actually some... Yesterday, there was some shaky starts by many of the players. This morning, not as much. There's a couple. Anna Olaya from
North Carolina A&T.
Thank you. Had the front 4. And we have a few early doubles, early triples. It's always nice to see. That'll loosen your swing up.
And one of the things we haven't talked about yet, but we've talked about it throughout the course of yesterday's broadcast, is the oil pattern is unknown. So these players got an opportunity to come here to the center, come to Spectrum on Monday, and essentially try and figure out a game plan. And from what we've seen, it looks like a lot of the players, especially here on the women's side, have, kind of decided to start off a little bit farther left, a little bit closer to third arrow. So especially the matches in front of us, that seems to be the way they're attacking it, except for Victoria, who's going a little more direct, using her ball speed to kind of reduce that angle a little bit.
And Aaron, so far from what I've seen, I think she has a clear advantage. I really do. I'm not sure the correct way to play the lanes just yet, but I really do think the whole idea of straighter is greater is definitely happening so far this morning. The ones that have been able to keep the ball in play and not leave too many splits are going much straighter through the front part of the lane, taking some of those out of bounds out of play. You know, we need to get a camera that is behind us for the coaches. So the Lawrence Tech coach, TJ, Victoria tripped a 4 in the fourth, and he gave him the Tiger Woods fist pump early. I mean, he almost hit you in the side of the head, Aaron. You didn't even see it coming. I mean, it was a big fist pump. But let's be honest, I don't think that there's going to be a whole lot of animation from some of the girls here until the matches get closer, maybe towards the end of the matches. But there's going to be some animation from the coaches, and we see that early on.
I like that. That's almost the second time you've had to save me in 2 days. I nearly fell off the chair.
Let's not make it 3. He's getting the fist bumps ready.
I like it. And folks, it does look like live scoring now populating, so you are able to keep track of the scores as they roll through here at Spectrum Entertainment Complex. Big shout out to the Eaton family and all the folks here at Spectrum. This we talked a little bit about yesterday, but really a phenomenal facility. It's a one-stop shop for a good time, it looks like, between golf simulator and the boutique area as well as.
I am so happy that they did not have golf simulator when I went to school here. I'm telling you, I would have missed class. I would have been stuck here at lunch. My coach might not have seen me for some of the practices. It might have been bad. It was, but this is such a cool place. Like you said, one-stop shop, and you can do so much. And then, if you're feeling up to it when you're done having fun here, behind the bowling center they have a volleyball, sand volleyball, which I know you're into, Aaron. And then you follow that up with a place called Craig's Cruisers, which you could drive some go-karts around, play some putt-putt. So I know one of these days I'll probably see you drive some go-karts around back there, but it is a lot of fun. Great area, and I'm really happy that Nationals could come here.
You don't want to see me on the go-kart track.
I can only imagine.
I'm all business.
I can only imagine.
All business, Andrew.
I have jinxed 2 people today already. I've jinxed 2 people out. He said Victoria has a clear advantage. She splits. Talked about Anna having the front 4. She follows it up with 2 missed spares. I think I'm.
Welcome to the broadcast booth. That's what we do.
I feel like Mike Flanagan, if he's watching. This dark cloud.
Again, a big thank you to Merrick for bringing us the live scoring here this week.
I think this match on 13-14 is going to get so low scoring because of how they're playing lanes. They're playing them so far left to start that where are you going to go? You're going to run out of room fairly early, and they're curving them. I would expect whichever one of these athletes decide to move right and throw it a little up the lane, a little straighter, maybe a little firmer, I think we'll have a better matchup later in this match. Because I just don't see where they're going to be able to move farther left.
Now, Andrew, typically from the right-handers, once you start moving left, you usually don't see players move right.
It's very hard to, yes. But that is why we have coaches. You know, that is why they have some direction. It's very hard to move right for whatever reason. Or even if you're left-handed, it's very hard to move back left because you feel like you've already played there. You know, like when you move away from it, you're like, I've already been there. Let's go somewhere new. But in this case, I don't think they really tried far enough right in practice. Like from shot 1 of practice, they were sliding around where they're sliding now. And when that burns up and that goes away a little bit, and you move left into what seems to be the flatter part of the pattern, and we don't know the pattern, but just by watching, you know, and as I say this, Katie's probably going to have a 9-bagger. Rebecca's going to have a 12-bagger. It's going to be totally they're just going to totally throw me off the bus.
This will be the 750 to 740 match.
Yeah, because I said that. But we'll see.
No, that's a fair point from the get-go from practice. Both of them. Wow, Mike Flanagan actually was watching. How about that? Hi, Mike. Good morning. Man, it's early over there in Utah.
I'm pretty sure he has a timer set for whenever you are live, Aaron.
Oh
He
my.
wants to make sure that you're doing a good job keeping up on all the front nines so that he can chime into that pair, make sure he's got it set up on his computer, get a good look at it, make sure that that ends real quick. I don't think we're going to have too many front nines today.
We only had one yesterday. That was Alec Keplinger, our leader on the men's side. Started with the front nine, and as you mentioned from just kind of walking around, urethane was the trick for Alec. He said he didn't use that throughout the course of the block, and very strong start. He kind of slowed down a little bit at the end, but still was enough to grab at the overall lead. And
yeah, that'll loosen your swing when you get off to that good of a start. I'm seeing quite a bit of urethane again on the men's side, but it's not looking as pure is the word I'm going to use today. It looks like they're working harder, but it could be nerves. A couple of the guys are off to fairly strong starts, but majority of them are just trying to feel it out, get their sea legs underneath them. When you get the nerves going, you start to throw it with your upper body, and you got to settle in, and that's what we're seeing out of some of these matches.
Yeah, taking a look at the live scoring, nothing. There's one or two big games out there. Andrew Gross and Andrew Sachs on 25 and 26. Andrew can still get to 247, and then a all-lefty matchup on 19 and 20. Sean Quinn from Calumet and Jordan Monens. Jordan, after 3 consecutive 9 spares, has rattled off 5 in a row.
The Andrew Sachs match yesterday was so interesting.
That was pretty crazy, yes.
It was a 158 to 258 game 1. And then 258 to 158 game 2. So tied through 2 games, and both of them have a 150. And they just happen to be the same exact score. I don't know how often that'll happen.
Especially with that variety in the score.
And they were both on the same side of the lane. So maybe one lane was that much tougher, and they both had when they had to finish on that lane struggled. I'm not sure.
Patricia finding something here toward the end of game 1. Late 3-bagger can still get to 203. Victoria with just the 1 open in the 6th, strike in the 8th here. 224, her max score. Rebecca can still get to 244 this game. Will cross over for the double to set up the 10th. So a chance for her to build a bit of a lead here. Katie's max 200 even. So she had the double in the 6th and the 7th. Great shot here on 14 in the 7th frame, but then 3, 6, 9, 10 in the 8th. Chopped it. Looks like a better shot. Gonna mix him up. Great shot to kick off the 10th for Victoria. She's really had a nice season. Been through the collegiate ticker throughout the course of the year. Of course, always find that on Wednesdays on bowl.com. Saw a lot of nice finishes near the top of the leaderboard, a couple of top 5s throughout the course of the year. She then qualified out of the Dayton sectional. Kicks the 10 there. Was 4th in average overall in the year. Collected 2 individual wins, 6 top 5s, and 8 top 10s in her 8 events. So that's some impressive bowling right there. Katie gets the first hit in the 10th. Still a chance to get to 200 even.
Great shot there by Victoria. Fill ball always strikes, it seems. But strong start, 224. Patricia can punch out for 203. Rebecca looks like she's going to have a commanding lead, though, after game one, depending on what Katie does here.
Playing that far in, definitely can't get it that far right.
Yeah, and I think that just goes back to, you know, a little uncomfortable this morning. Match play. You know, every shot means so much. You just gotta get settled in, commit to the shots.
Patricia got the hit in the 10th. Had some fun pin action there to make it 4 in a row. Katie's going to be in the 180s though. 188 officially. Rebecca crossed over in the 9th frame. Let's see if she can take advantage, get another strike and get into the 230s. The 244 max out there.
I'm looking at 9 spare for Patricia. Put her at 192. 32 pin advantage for Victoria, possibly. Great shot. You know, I said something. I said something about them playing in, and now she's going to have 240. But I'm going to stop talking about lane play.
But I feel, you know, this is a quick format. It's 3 games. Part of that, you know, you've seen the pattern enough. You kind of know what you can get away with and what you can't get away with at this point.
Yeah, and you play to your strengths, right?
Absolutely, that's what I was going to get to. If this
well,
is where
I was just
Rebecca,
try to finish your sentence for you.
I appreciate that, and I mean that makes me look good. So.
Yeah, no, I think you always play to your strengths here in these formats because regardless of the ball reaction, you're just trying to make as many good shots as possible. Especially when you're a little on the nervous side, and those were great shots. I really don't think Rebecca has a lot of miss room per se. She's just throwing some really good shots. But good shot making can keep you in anything, really. I am surprised she's not trying a different ball here. But she does also have 240, so I don't really feel like you have to change much, trying to just stay comfortable. Even though it's only 3 games, I do feel like they broke down really quick yesterday. And we're kind of at the point of this tournament, right, that you know how you're going to play the lanes, and from a coach's standpoint, you're kind of just trying to keep them off the ledge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just walked up and down, and I see a lot of coaching going on, but I don't really think it's coaching. I think it's more, let's talk through this, let's keep you calm, stay level-headed, and try to make as many good shots as possible.
244, 188, the official tally after 1.
56 pin advantage for Rebecca. That's a strong start.
Then 224 to 192, Jardina ahead of Rosales to our right. Let's see if we can grab a few other scores as folks wrap
Anna
up.
Olea had 221 to her opponent's 178.
Yep, she was bowling Ira. Got some other matches. It looks like Izzy Allen up 214 to 183 against Madison Janak.
Who is, can you see the scores of the Brooklyn-Mabel match?
They're still in game 1. Brooklyn can max out at 205 and 210 the max score for Mabel.
Okay.
So 5-pin match up there at the moment. Looks like Pete Virgo's up 236 to 190 against Nathan Burns on 23 and 24. Close match between Jake Tolke and Stephen Coker, 197 to 193. Jacob with the advantage. Seth Gosson up 182 to 155 against Connor Novak. Jordan Monitz 244 to 200 lead over Sean Quinn Jr. Troy Owens up 3, 184 to 181 against Zach Denton. Let's see. Looks like Alec Keplinger is going to be up against Corey Hirsch after one. 212 Alec in the book. Corey can max out at 185 with a fill ball left to go. And then Tyler Moore is going to have a big lead after game one. Can still get to 236 against Joshua Imhoff, who's at 168. Andrew Gross from Wisconsin Whitewater, 236 to 168 advantage against Andrew Sachs, but Andrew starting with the front three this game. So,
well, we saw yesterday. He had a pretty strong bounce back early after a 150 start. Maybe he just doesn't like the lean jet. You know, he needs a game on him.
He's just not a fan of game one in general.
Right.
Just say, hey, it's too early in this now. Too early in the morning here for game one. I'll get him game two.
And hopefully game three. I was always like that. I still am to this day. In the afternoon blocks, I always can start off fairly strong, but if it's a morning block, like an 8 a.m., 9 a.m. start, you might as well chalk that first game up for me as practice. I'm warming up. I'm going to shoot some spares and see how I'm feeling, and then hopefully off to the races.
Absolutely terrible stuff 8 there. That was...
Yeah, and that's right off of a missed spare. It's a tough place for it. And Rebecca just threw a shot that is exactly what I meant. It was just a touch on the inside, and it went all the way Brooklyn. You know, so she really does not have much misroom. That just goes to show you how good a shot she made. And she also did have a couple breaks game one to get to 240. But that's what you need, you know. Those are what keep the strings going. A couple breaks here and there, a couple off hits. That is not what you want to see if you're Katie. You're trying to get back in the match. You have a flat 10, throw a good shot, and your opponent gets away with one. So, kind of how match play works, but gotta stay within yourself and try to make the best shots possible, and hopefully get back into it. And that is hard to watch. If not from my perspective, if I was a bowling against her perspective. You never say that it affects you. You never say like, hey, I'm watching them type of thing. You try to not watch. But if you're watching,
yeah,
that is, it's two ways you can take it. One, you're not getting any breaks. But on the other side, you say, hey, my opponent just got away with a couple. Doesn't really know where the pocket is. Maybe if I throw a couple here, I can make him uncomfortable. So, interesting to see what Katie does here.
Good points there, Andrew. Looks pretty good. Oh, it's going to make the move off the spot. 2-pin.
If that was your ball, Aaron, that would have made a very strong move. Probably would have went all the way to the 4-pin.
It probably would have, yes. I'd have to make a sizable move after that. Incredible rev rate of 6. 6 is the rev rate.
You count it?
Yes.
Sometimes I throw the bowling balls that have more color in them just to see my ball roll. And then I regret it instantly when it makes me feel like I have no rev rate. So I try to stick to the solid color bowling balls so that way when I miss one, I don't know it.
And you don't have to see your rev rate?
Yeah, that's the main portion. Especially when you flat 10. You feel like you catch one, you hit it pretty good, you flat 10, you're like, oh, is that me?
No, that's just impossible. Andrew Anderson doesn't leave flat 10s.
Only three times a game when I'm bowling good. On 11 and 12, rough finish for Jenna. Couple splits to finish, shoot 150, and Dakota can come out and throw 3 in the 10th for 200 to take a 50-pin advantage. And there's a break coming right back for Katie, you know. And if you're Rebecca, you crossed over a couple times, and I would expect this one to either be a really good one or be a miss right. I don't think she's going to try to pull it again. I think that when you do it a couple times, you start to think about it. I would expect this to be a good one or maybe a miss right. But I've been wrong many times this morning already.
That is definitely right.
And that is only because of the last two.
So left with a washout here, loses a little bit of count.
It's just really hard when you pull a couple to not tell yourself, hey, let's get one over there. And then when you're bowling on something hard like this, you just don't have much miss room over there, you know? It's very hard to dial it in after a couple shots like that. Do we have any questions in the chat yet this morning?
Just some good mornings.
Okay.
I feel that folks are
Good
are
morning,
like
wonderful people.
are like us. They got their coffee this morning.
Good.
Settling into some
Need it.
some Bowl TV and collegiate bowling here. This is game 2 of 3 of round 2 of match play at the Intercollegiate Singles Championships. We do have cameras on all pairs in play, so that is pretty cool.
Dakota from SFA just did something very impressive. She has struggled the last couple shots on the right lane. She went Brooklyn in the 9th with a Pink Widow, and going into the 10th, after watching her opponent split in the 10th, she made a ball change. Totally blind ball change, hasn't thrown it all game, and I don't even know if she threw it in practice. And she threw a monster double to take a commanding lead game 1.
Now we had Dakota on, and the ball matches her jersey, which is
You know,
excellent touch
sometimes
as well.
sometimes you have to just throw that one because of the good vibes.
But she actually used that ball early in qualifying yesterday to earn a first-round bye, and she was actually farther right than anyone I had seen on the women's side. She was actually playing a little bit right of the track, and that one crossed over to wrap that game up. But as you said, a 49-pin lead, 199-150 over Jenna Layer of Monmouth, heading into game 2.
Victoria is going to try to get back on it here. She has a 30-pin advantage, correct?
Let's see. Yep, it was 32 to start this game. 224 to 192.
Does she trip it? She trips it. And TJ gives it the big fist pump in the back. Oh, yeah. I had to turn around and saw, as soon as I saw the trip four, I had to turn around and get a TJ fist pump.
Gotta love it. Just again, a reminder, folks, Merrick live scoring is available here to follow all the pairs in play.
So, Rebecca, double open spare. Can Victoria double here? She does. It's a big double in the game. If you're Patricia, you kind of feel like you got to get going. Down 30. Haven't really found the pocket a whole lot. With Katie, I think she's hitting what she's looking at. I don't think she's missing her target. But I think whether it's nerves or whatever it may be this morning, she's throwing it a little harder than she's expecting. And that's why the ball's not really getting there. Because the couple ones that have gone there have been a touch softer, a little slower speed, and that's tough. That's tough to chop the 2-5 there, and you give the momentum right back to Rebecca. So Kay's got to throw some good shots here. She's got to settle in. Sometimes it just doesn't feel like it can ever go right, you know?
Yeah, that shot left from the get-go, and we saw her opponent have a couple of Brooklyns, and that was
a rocket 10.
That was the quintessential Brooklyn strike, and somehow nothing hit the 10.
Patricia had a good shot there. just a touch it in. But then if she gets it right of that, we've seen her leave a couple 210 combinations. So probably need a ball change from Patricia, and I think that's what she's coming back to talk to her coach about. She's done a lot of good shots, just haven't seen much from it. So you can only try to outbowl that ball reaction for so long before you have to make some changes. I would expect there to be some changes fairly soon. She's thinking about it. She's looking down, thinking about it. It's tough. It's a tough spot because you've hit the pocket. You've got 9 spares, but
yep, there's
9 spares gonna.
Ball change coming.
9 spares going to do it for you.
She took the thumb out, grabbed a different ball. That's a better shot. Oh.
That's what you get for saying that.
Yeah, well, it was a better shot.
It was a better shot.
Just a worse result.
Bad break.
There's the ball change. That looked pretty good.
Good shot. I'm not sure if that was a ball change. Could have been. I thought she was throwing that ball. It does.
Oh, maybe the red one was for her spare attempt. That's what it is.
So.
Okay.
But I do think that was a big move because on the right lane there was way more up the lane. That looked like she had moved a few left and tried to curve it just a touch more. And something to think about when it comes to 3-game matches and how they break down is Victoria's going to play pretty straight. We saw it in qualifying yesterday. She played pretty straight. Stayed pretty straight so far this morning. And that's her A game, right? And what's Patricia's A game? I think it's getting a little bit farther left than her opponents. She can hit on it pretty good. And I think that the lanes are going to break down in Patricia's favor because she's going to curve it into the spot that Victoria's making. So if she can get within striking distance, I think game 3 she could put something together. But Victoria's made a lot of good shots. Just how long can she stay out there?
Andrew, how much strategy goes into that when you know?
Oh, so much.
Obviously, we get to, you get to know, and maybe it's a little bit different in collegiate just because there's, NCAA, USBC Collegiate Club, NAI. There's so many different divisions that maybe these players don't see a ton of each other throughout the course of the year. But
right.
But how much of, trying just to find any intel you can on a player to figure out, okay, they might do this, that, or the other.
Yeah, and I think that's like coaches. I think that's more the coach at the moment. Oh, great
wow.
shot. And her ball's starting to hook a lot more faster. But I think, man, there's a lot of gamesmanship in bowling that goes beyond it, and when you don't see somebody very often, you're going to play to your strengths. You're not going to tell Victoria to play 20 because that's where the lanes might be good this day because you want her comfortable, you want her in her A game. However, maybe it's different ball choices. Maybe it's different surfaces on those bowling balls to keep her in that zone. Different things like that will come into play more. But I don't think you're going to take anybody out of their comfort zone. I am surprised, really, in the Katie-Rebecca match that they haven't played straighter. And I know I've said that already. But they're not doing themselves any favors when it comes to breaking the lanes down. So unless they both knew that, or they both are just playing strictly to their A game, I am surprised. Because I thought Katie played straighter yesterday in qualifying. And this is a big 2 shots for her because her opponent has opened the door. And
it seems like these last few on 14 have looked like they're close.
They are close.
And it's just...
it could be a ball choice. I do think she's throwing it firm compared to... she does throw it hard in general, but she's throwing it even firmer, and I think that's a little bit of nerves, just trying to make sure you hit what you're looking at, Sometimes when you get in these situations, you kind of lose the feeling of your legs and whatnot, and you just try to hit what you're looking at, and that's the first step, and then you try to settle in from there. And it's even harder when you're down. When you're down and you feel like you got to strike, and I know she's got to feel like she's got to strike a little bit because we did not see much of this out of her yesterday. I mean, it seemed like every other game was a 220 or 210.
Yeah, she qualified third overall, I believe. 12:27, so a couple 230s in there. Had some rougher games along the experience as well, but
I like that, along the experience.
along the experience.
Patricia with a double there after moving left. Oh, great shot to not get the second one. But keeping yourself in the match. That's what matters. So it may feel like a sprint to the bowlers, but we know that 3 games is a lot of games. You don't feel like you got to sprint, you just have to make as many good shots as possible.
And I don't think anybody enjoys sprinting this early in the morning.
No. I have some friends that do. They invite me into runs early in the morning, and I tell them I'll see them for lunch. I'll meet them after at the clubhouse or whatever it may be. The only thing, I mean, when I'm bowling, I think I'm cool with waking up early. I'm excited, you know. I do not sleep much before tournaments. I'm just thinking too much, thinking about like what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna play them, all that stuff. So it's easy to wake up early in the morning. But when it comes to just like, if somebody told me like, hey, would you like to wake up at 6 a.m. for a run? I might not respond to the text.
Fair point.
I might tell them I'm already sleeping.
Let's see if Rebecca can get something going here. And
that wasn't that bad of a shot. A touch right, just a touch right, and just stays out there. And you know, bowling comes around. You know, she got a couple breaks earlier. Now it feels like she can't get one. She had that 4-9. That was a great shot. Looked like she moved left off of it. Another split. Good break for Victoria for breaking up that split as well. To get 9. And that match, this game has gotten close.
be 3 consecutive opens now for Rebecca. Just looking to get something going here.
When it rains, it pours. It really does.
Had a 56-pin lead after 1, but
this is one of those times you just got to regroup, take a deep breath, reset. Feel like it's a new shot. Don't let it culminate.
talked about Andrew Sachs a little bit earlier. Bouncing back nice, 255 in game 2.
His second game average is 100 pins higher than his first game.
And now he's taking the lead against Andrew Gross. 2-pin lead heading into the finale, 423 to 421. Petey Virgos is going to have a big lead heading into the final game against Nathan Burns. Nathan not bowling bad, but Petey is putting some strikes up. He can make the turn at 483.
Petey just looked comfortable yesterday. But during qualifying, now during match play, he just looks comfortable. He likes what he sees. Just a lot of commitment.
Taking a look at 5 and 6, Jordan Munn putting together a nice game. Can shoot 270 still with the 9th and 10th left to go against Cassidy Corey.
What pair is this on?
5 and 6.
Okay, thank you.
So we've seen a couple of light shots here from Katie on this lane. That one got left quick, and probably similar to what we talked about earlier. She had just kept seeing the ball and she kind of scooched through the break point and not quite make it all the way up the hill. And
what are you going to do? You're going to try to grab a little bit, get a little help, and go space. And that just goes to show how hard, like, this pair is getting hard. It is. They're not throwing that bad of shots, but you miss one right, your ball stays right. You miss one in, your ball goes left. Just not a fun place to be. And like I said, I really think it's going to come down to which one of these girls makes a bigger move quicker and gets away from that transition. Patricia can step up here in the 9th and 10th at 215 and get some of that 32 pins back. and set herself up nicely going into game 3. Still going to be behind a touch, but in a much better spot with a couple strikes here.
Oh.
Big break. Big break. She's probably got to feel like she needs one of those.
Had the mixer 7 that
Yep.
didn't fall in the 8th, so.
Got it right back. That's always nice when the bowling gods don't wait too long to give you one back. It's nice. And as we talk about it, Katie got one back as well.
I had asked Gary Brown. I was curious if we had a re-oil before the next round or not.
There's not.
There is not.
Okay.
So I'm curious if anyone's going to hit 13 to 14 now.
Yeah.
Because we're skipping pairs after this. I just don't recall the.
I think somebody's going to hit 3 and 4. I do. I think it's going to be 1 and 2, 5 and 6, 9 and 10, 13, 14. Because the men will start in 17, 18. I think. Could be wrong.
You were correct about 17 and 18 for the men, but looks like we actually will start on 3 and 4 here.
So they're going to put a women's match and a men's match next to each other.
I believe so. And
okay.
according
that could, that could be an error. I'm not sure because I would be surprised if they didn't they had a pair in between every other match, but not that one. Maybe they don't want 1 and 2 in play. So Patricia with a double, looking for a 3-bagger. Little light. Does she roll it? She does not. But 2-0, 204 with a spare. Victoria can shoot 200, so no matter what, Patricia's going to get some pins back here. Just might not be very many. But I do think she's starting to get comfortable. Looks like she's starting to find her rhythm, find some ball action. And Victoria needs to make a move here. Rebecca can shoot 168 with 3 strikes in the 10th. Katie can shoot 206. So, that 50 pin deficit could go away fairly quickly.
just like that.
We see it from Andrew Sachs. I mean, those pins can fly around.
.204 puts Patricia at 396 for her first 2 games. Victoria ready for her 10th frame. Max at 200 after 224 in the opener. .3610 to start the 10th for Rebecca, so her max drops to 155 now.
Great shot from Victoria there. Getting all 3 here would be huge. Still have a 28 pin advantage. 28 pins, a lot to work with. You feel like you can miss once or twice.
As a competitor, how much are you thinking of that difference, like going into Game 3? Is that way up there, or is that kind of like back of the mind? You're not trying to think about it too much.
Be different, right? I honestly believe that some of the women competitors here aren't even thinking about it, right? Like I think that mentally they're just like, all right, let's just keep throwing good shots, right? But I do think that your approach to Game 3 can change depending on that difference, right? Like if I'm down 50 pins, what I've been doing is not working. Whether it's how I'm throwing the ball or what ball I'm throwing, I will be looking at something different. I've just never been one to beat my head against the wall. What do they say? Doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity.
I believe so.
Yeah, and I don't like that. Oh, wow.
How about that?
Interesting way to make the spare. But if you're like up 5, 10 pins, probably feel like you just got to make a lot of good shots, right? Until your opponent does something that tells you otherwise. You feel like your score can be enough. So I do think the pin and that difference matters. How you attack the lanes and your approach towards the game, but it's not something that's actively thought about.
So we have a 414 to 396 match here on 15 and 16. Victoria Jardina with the advantage over Patricia Rosales. Rebecca Locher with the 155 after 244. She's in the books at 399. So for Katie Robb, she can make this very close with a double here in the 10th. Finally gets that reaction she's been looking for off the spot on 14. Gets that hit.
I did not see it. My vantage point is not great, but it looked like it went like mixer again, yeah?
It did, yep.
Yeah, it just looks like this lane. Those were a lot of good shots. You know, she liked them. They were just not getting there. That one did look like she finally caught it a little more. But I would really like to see if she threw that same shot, but maybe just a pinch slower. I think we'll get there.
Now in the 190, so she's made up 40 pins. Can bring it with less than 10 pins with another strike here.
Momentum.
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 Brought it up yesterday.
I mean, just that. I would not want to be blowing on that pair at the moment. It just looks like the miss room is just so small.
There's a little emotion from Patricia,
Yeah,
getting the mixer.
She knows she gained a couple pins back there. It's time to go. You know, it's time.
Oh, let's go.
Exactly. It's game 3. Win or go home. A lot on the line. Some girls show emotion, some do not, right? And when it comes to gamesmanship, if you know your opponent doesn't show much emotion, it's almost better to show some to see if you can get some out of them. Because you can really test how somebody's feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like your opponent's a little shaky, having some rough ball reaction, and you throw a good one like that, I think it's totally okay to let them know that you think you threw a good one. Because then it makes them feel like they have to throw a good one. Gamesmanship. I mean, there's just so much of it, really. I don't think it's talked about enough how much, like, lane play is part of that. You know, if you're bowling against somebody that's really good at hooking the bowling ball, in practice, maybe you try to play their part of the lane and then save your part of the lane for when you start.
Andrew, that sounds like some good advice. I've never seen you get fired up on the lanes before, so perhaps you're going to have to start doing that in the future.
Yeah, I got to be the most quiet individual when it comes to getting fired up. I actually think I might have most fist pumps on one-baggers on the PBA Tour. Because I get excited when I strike once, let alone twice.
I enjoy that as an official stat, and we'll attempt to use that moving forward. Let's see, we actually have a game getting ready to wrap up on 3 and 4, so Allison Resco and Marissa Carey wasting no time.
The match?
The match is almost
No way.
Yeah. They're at the end, and it looks like it's going to be Marissa Carey.
Rapid firing?
Looks like Marissa Carey is going to be the one moving on. Looks like Brooklyn Boudreau is going to have an advantage over Mabel Cummins. It's going to be pretty close, though, heading into game 3. Jordan Munt up 414 to 375 against Cassidy Corey. Let's see, that is 445 for Anna Elijah. Let's see, and 3 to 377 for Ira Amanudin. So Anna up on that one. Izzy Allen ahead of Madison Janak by about around 30 to start game number 3.
And she just had I believe it was a 710 for Izzy in frame 2. So Madison can get off to a strong start here. She has the first strike going into frame 2. Down a few pins. Always nice to see an early double. Big break there from Patricia, knocking out the 10 pin. That spare becomes a lot easier when that 10 pin stays. Good spare by Katie. Madison with the double. Trying to get some of those pins back on Izzy real early.
Some other updates here on the men's side. Looks like Connor Novak with a early advantage heading into game 3 over Seth Gosson. Jordan Monen's big lead over Sean Quinn Jr. heading into the final game. Stephen Coker up against Jacob Tolke. Talked about Petey Virgo's early advantage over Nathan Burns heading into game 3. 392 to 364 advantage for Troy Owens over Zach Denton. Andrew Sachs still holding the slight lead over Andrew Gross on 25 and 26. Tyler Moore up 439 to 375 against Josh Imhoff, 29 and 30. Then Alec Keplinger up 387 to 339 against Corey Hersha on 31 and 32.
What was the score of the 31-32 match?
387 to 339.
And I said that was going to be the high scoring one, didn't I? Wow, that's crazy. I thought that for sure was going to be a high scoring match. Especially after Corey Hersha had 690 last night. And Keplinger had such a strong start in qualifying. That pair must be tricky. I'm sure they're both throwing urethane. It's going to make them a little trickier.
You know it's not tricky though, Andrew?
What is that?
Winning on Bowl TV.
Okay.
We're going to do a giveaway here in game 3.
Okay.
Coming up in just a frame or two, folks, so be on the lookout for that. Once again, very easy to do here on Bowl TV. You'll just see a prompt in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. When it's time, we'll give you the heads up that's coming. And then all you have to do is hit the submit entry button, and you will be eligible to win. To win what?
What are they winning?
An ITC branded tumbler.
Brooklyn. Ooh. Ooh.
That was
Testing the waters.
a little bit closer than I'm sure she would have liked. But it fell. That's the important thing.
It did fall. I can't believe the one match is done already.
We have one match already in the books. Let's see if we can verify final tallies up there. Marissa Carey of Indiana Tech, 662. Allison Resko of Duquesne, 567. So Marissa, one match closer.
Big early double for Victoria. Has the lead. Pressure's back on Patricia. How many times do we see that? You get away with one, and they just take it right back. And then you can say the opposite. They take one from you, and they give it right back, you know? This has been quite the roller coaster of a match on 13-14.
It really has. It's been, we saw some bigger scores in the opener, and then it turned into Victoria not happy about that.
Yeah, and that was a good shot. And that's what we're talking about. How long can she stay out there? That was plenty good. That was up the lane. That just screamed off of it, you know. I mean, gotta make another move there. Get pin count here. Patricia for the double and get into this. Oh, she made it. Oh. I thought she made it. Her spare ball. So, do you think that her spare ball hooks more than your ball, Aaron?
It's close.
Okay. All I was thinking about is counting the revs.
Counting the revs.
As it went down the lane.
So after the shot from Katie here in frame number 3, we'll go ahead and start this giveaway for an ITC tumbler. So once again, you'll see the prompt in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. That will say giveaway will begin shortly. It'll have a countdown, about 60 seconds. And then the giveaway will begin. You'll see the submit entry button on your screen. If you're watching in full screen mode, we do recommend. That's pretty good right there. That's really good.
That's very good.
We recommend that you take it out of full screen for just a second. Make sure you can see the chat and everything going on. And then you will be able to win. One lucky viewer is going to take this home. So we appreciate that. And we appreciate everybody joining us here on Bowl TV. I'm Aaron Smith, joined by Andrew Anderson, here from the Intercollegiate Singles Championships at Spectrum Entertainment Complex in Wyoming, Michigan. And we're just moments and minutes away from a Chick-fil-A, which Andrew says is a delicacy here in Michigan.
It really is. I always, like when I come out this way, whenever I just go to a Chick-fil-A, good shots, good pin action. I'm the worst about accidentally going on a Sunday. I'd be like, why is it closed? Especially like travel days, right? When we travel on weekend events in the summer for the PBA Tour, and Detroit Airport has a Chick-fil-A, right? So I get all excited flying home on a Sunday. Maybe I'll get some Chick-fil-A and then get there and I'm stunned every time.
Well, I'll remember that because that's when we head out, is Sunday.
Yeah,
so
make sure you get it before.
So giveaway is underway. Good luck, everybody. Hit that submit entry button. Katie with the double.
That was a huge double.
Rebecca working off the 4-9 in the third.
And then that's left. Should get away with it. Makeable spare there is good.
Okay, looks like we got some Katie fans in the chat, so let us know who you're rooting for out here this week. And an appropriate answer is all the student athletes as well. So. Just as a heads up, folks, we will keep the cameras running in between the rounds here. So round 3 will be coming up fairly shortly after the conclusion of round 2 here. This is the final game in the single elimination format, 3-game total pinfall matches here on our featured pairs once again on 13 and 14. Rebecca Loker a 399 to 381 advantage over Katie Robb, and on 15 and 16 to our left we have Victoria Jardina up 414 to 396 against Patricia Rosales.
Patricia with one out the window there a little bit. Left to wash out. Probably got to feel like she's got to make it. Could be down a pretty large deficit with 6 frames to go. Madison Janak with the front 3 spare strike, and Izzy with spare open, spare strike, spare. So advantage Madison. Oh no. Lane 13. That's a high flush 4-7-10. Exactly what you want to see if you're Katie. Last thing you want to see if you're Rebecca.
Excellent cover there of the washout for Patricia.
Big,
Needed
big
it
spare.
to keep the pressure on here and put herself in position to make a late run. And congratulations to our winner.
Who was it?
They don't have their actual name. It was just Impulse, which is a cool name in its own right.
Okay.
So Impulse, our marketing team will be reaching out to you soon. And
Made it.
Oh, that was just like the
Faster,
4-9.
yeah. Victoria with a great shot.
Our marketing team will be reaching out to you soon to collect that prize. And thank you for participating, and thank you to everybody for being part of the Bowl TV community here for the Intercollegiate Singles Championships.
So, big shot for both of the girls in front of us here. Okay. Katie can get a 3-bagger to take the lead, and a commanding one at that. Victoria can also throw a double, or strike here for a double, to have a 35-ish pin advantage with 5 frames to go. Big momentum boost here. Got to stay there.
Pretty good. Oh,
Yep, good shot, good shot. Not getting it as far right now, a little more up the lane. Wow, great shot by both girls there. Pressure is firmly on both now, Patricia and Rebecca.
Can never get too comfortable in these 3-game total pinfall matches.
You just never. Big bounce back shot. Give Patricia here. Probably feel like it's a must strike situation. Not quite there yet, but it's getting very close. The opponent has 2 doubles this game. Ball reaction is looking good. It's got a hook. Let's roll it. She does not. She looks like she wasn't fully committed to that one. Aaron, what spare is harder, the 3-6-10 or the bucket?
That's a great question.
I
I feel I'd rather
think
shoot
the
at the 3-6-10 in that situation.
I
than
think the
bucket.
3-6-9-10 is 100 times easier than the 3-10. When you put that gap in there, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like shooting a 3-6-10 is fairly easy for me. Shooting a 6-10 is fairly easy for me. You take that 6-pin out of there, I will hit the reset button.
So the 6-pin really brings it all together for you.
It really does. It really does. That pin does a lot of the work for me.
It's important to have the pins work for you and not against you.
True. Okay, Rebecca. Wow. Okay, so Rebecca, was that Brooklyn?
That crossed over, yep.
Okay. She's probably a little uncomfortable. She really needs a good one to get some of that confidence back, get some momentum. Because her 3 strikes this game have all been Brooklyn, right?
I didn't catch the one in the first, but the one in the second and then the one there in the 6th.
Yeah, Katie now has some ball reaction. Or she's just throwing that much better shots. And Victoria is now letting Patricia back in this match a little bit. She still has a firm lead. She still have 18 pins, 14 pins, including count right now.
Yep, up 14 with 3 to go. Coming down to the wire here on Bold TV.
Can you tell I'm a score watcher?
Yes, very much so.
And that was a better shot by Rebecca, but just was hooking too much in the middle part of the lane. It's up the lane. Got away with it. Got away with it.
And a note on that, we talked about, kind of watching your opponents. Patricia had her back turned, talking to her coach here. So.
Yeah, and I think that the coach is doing, keeping her in the right mindset, right? Regardless of what happens here, is your best shots are plenty. It's all you got to be told. Just try to make 2 really good ones here and put yourself in contention. Madison Janak and Izzy Allen match got really close. Izzy has actually taken the lead back with a 3-bagger. If Madison does not strike out, she can strike out with 224. She needs some help from Izzy. She needs some help from Izzy. Patricia, great shot.
Past junior gold champion here in the great state of Michigan in 2019.
Biggest shot of the morning for Patricia right here.
Set up the 10th, put the pressure on.
Does that get there?
It's going to get there. Mixes it.
Yeah, Katie's had a big comeback, and the difference in that match is Katie's been able to stay straighter. As Rebecca went left, the lanes got harder for her. And Katie with a commanding lead now with 3 frames to go. Rebecca needs some help. All right, Patricia.
The last 2 on this lane have gotten right quick.
That was a better shot.
Mm-hmm.
Just not quite what she was looking for. Still not out of it yet, but need the spare and gonna need some help from Victoria.
2:04 Victoria on a 190 pace, which
Yep,
would be
so,
enough.
Yep. Staying clean is enough for Victoria.
It's an 18-pin difference.
Izzy Allen looks like she's going to take the match with any mark in the 10th.
Looks like she left a 10-pin there.
Yep.
Couple lanes down.
I believe that will be enough. And tough spot for that opening. Now Victoria just needs to throw a couple spares out there. She's moving on to the round of 8.
Yep, fill a frame here. In good shape to advance. Pressure is off for Izzy. She does need a mark in the 10th. She did convert that, so Max or Madison 596. Isabel Allen going to be in the 6.0s, so she is going to advance. It looks like Anna Elijah will be getting the win over Ira Amanudin. Jordan Munt, a victory over Cassidy Corey, 644 to 609.
The Mabel Brooklyn match.
Still pretty close, very close actually on 1 and 2. So there's the first mark.
I believe that's it. Just any pin count really. 6 pins. 6 pins will do it. 7 pins will do it.
It's a bit of a roller coaster, but that's to be expected with this format.
Better shot from Rebecca there. Just didn't get all the way up the hill. Madison bowled great. Yesterday and today, bowled good. Izzy Allen's gonna move on though. But I have a feeling we're gonna see Madison the next couple of days with the Wichita State Shockers.
We'll be participating in the ITC coming up, and
wow.
Oh my goodness! Let's see. What's
the match is over.
Give me two.
Yep, already at 588, so she will. She
match
will be
is over,
safe.
but if you're Patricia, that spare is gonna haunt you. And we just talked about it. The bucket. The bucket is just.
Talk about a finish on 27-28. Troy Owens against Zach Denton. Zach trying to make a comeback, had the front 8. And had a chance to double in the 10th and shoot 278 to win. Did not get the first hit. So Troy Owens a 640 to 618
with
victory.
With a 240 finish.
Troy needed every bit of it, yep. Petey Virgo 653 to 549 a victory. Jordan Monens is going to get a win. He's going to advance. Stephen Coker is going to advance. Andrew Sachs at 592, 573 win over Andrew Gross. Looks like Connor Novak of Notre Dame, Ohio is going to get a victory here.
Rebecca's not out of this yet. Rebecca can shoot 198. Katie Rao has 236. But Katie has an 18-pin deficit going into this game. Does it get there? Does it get there? Roll it. Does not. So now you need some help from Katie.
Rebecca can still get to 586. If Katie marks out, she's going to be in the 590s.
Yep.
Victoria's going to get the win with 590 over Patricia Rosales. Move one step closer potentially advancing to CBS Sports Network. The top 8 in each division will be up next right here on Bowl TV. Be a pretty quick transition into the next round. Once again, no re-oil. So they'll set the bracket. The players will get some warm-up prior to the start. They'll be ready for business. Still have 2 other matches ongoing on the women's side. The Brooklyn Boudreaux and Mabel Cummins match on 1 and 2.
Who had the lead, Brooklyn?
I believe Brooklyn had the slight advantage heading into, yes, had the advantage.
And she's now at a 12-pin deficit.
It's with Mabel working on a strike, yep. So that one coming down to the wire. Then we have Dakota Fakney and Jenna Lair on 11 and 12 as well. Dakota, pretty big advantage in that one halfway through game number 3. We will adjust the camera over there after we wrap up our matches here. Victoria Jardine is going to get the win against Patricia Rosales. Katie Robb, that one stayed out. Going to give some.
Just trying to stay clean.
Going to give some count back, but just has to fill some frames here. Mabel Cummins did not strike in the 9th frame, so that means Brooklyn Boudreaux can go up in the 9th and 10th, strike out, and lock out the top seed on the women's side. That's that match once again on 1 and 2. Hang on to the head pin, does so. Coach Alicia Current, just a couple feet away from us. Probably it's probably more nerve-wracking than throwing some strikes down the stretch to win her PWBA Tour title.
I promise you, TJ, to our right here, he has been pacing at a very fast pace those last few frames. But that just shows how much you want it for your team, for your student. You know, the student's nervous. I think the coach is even more nervous because when it's not in your hands, you know, you're just hoping the best for somebody and you try to send some good mojo. And most important thing is to relay to your student that you got their back, good or bad, make good shots, and don't show them that you're nervous as well. You want to kind of be that. You kind of want to be that rock. I think Alicia's doing a great job with that. She's been there. She knows how to win. She's trying to help Katie do the same.
And that strike's going to do it. That's going to get her the win. Katie
Big
Robb.
comeback, too, after 50 pins down game 1.
Absolutely. Katie Robb hanging in there. It's going to get the victory.
Boudreaux did strike and then 2-8.
So if she makes a spare, Madison's going to need to...
Mabel, yeah.
Or excuse me, Mabel.
9 spare strike.
Yep, 9 spare strike would get her to 588. Max for Brooklyn, 587 now.
That's with a spare here. It's coming down to the wire.
Let's go. The pressure of the ISC. Katie Robb's going to get the victory here.
She barely... The 2-pin fell so late. But she made it, nonetheless.
Alec Keplinger, 585 to 550 win over Corey Hersha. Tyler Moore of Tusculum's going to get the victory against Josh Imhoff.
All 10 is so important here for Brooklyn.
Oh, absolutely.
Looks like she likes it. Oh, crossover. I think that's 9. It is 9. So 8 spare strike from Mabel will be enough. And you gotta think Brooklyn. She has had 2 missed make-walls, both 9 misses. May come back from once here, but we will see what Mabel comes out and does here.
6:03 the final tally for Katie in the victory against Rebecca Locher.
Mabel's taking a lot of time here. Great bowling to Rebecca. You know, very strong start, a little bit rough second game, but she tried to grind through it. Got to be proud of yourself. You know, we talked about it yesterday. You're representing your school at the ISCs. Did good things here, and hopefully you get another chance at it. Mabel rolls. Oh.
Is that just an 8-pin?
That was the 2-8-10 that turned into just the 8-pin.
All right, so now a spare and 9 for Mabel will get the victory.
That was a very late roll on the 2. So if she spares here and gets 8, it's a tie?
Spare 8 is a tie, yes. Which means 9th and 10th frame roll off.
Okay.
According to downtown Gary Brown.
Wow, that was so close.
Once again, the match we're talking about, Mabel and Brooklyn on ISC 1 through 4.
Makes it fair.
So now 9 or a strike to advance.
Anything less? Maybe a roll off? Maybe Brooklyn moving on. It's amazing how after 3 games these matches always come down to the 1 shot. Seems like it happens a lot.
Final tally 6:03 to 5:73. Katie Robb with the win over Rebecca Locher. Dakota Fakney and Jenna Lair. Dakota's going to get the win. They still have the 9th and 10th frame left to go. But yeah, right now the
very much of a grind out match there. It really was. I watched the majority of it. A lot of spares, not many strikes being thrown, but they're just trying to grind it out. And for Dakota, this is where you learn. You get ready for the next matchup. Tape for Mabel.
And
she balked.
Yeah, she got ready to go and then said something did not feel right. She's going to go through.
Big shot. Take as much time as you need.
100%.
You know, people always say balking can be bad, but if you're not committed, it means way more to be committed. Good or bad, you just commit. Mabel wasn't committed, so
and she went
I think she did the right thing by backing off.
She went through the process and now
and
back
she
up on
did
the
just
approach.
2-8-10, so she's got to feel a little wishy-washy. Not a whole lot of strikes on that pair this game. Looks like she likes it.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, is that 7 or is that 6? Is that a washout?
That's a 7.
That's a 7, so it's needed 8. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Missed the head pin, and Brooklyn is going to get a 1-pin victory.
Wow. She's fiddling with her tape right now. She didn't like it. Ah, that's tough.
586 to 585. Brooklyn Boudreaux gets a 1-pin victory over
Gonna
the
be a
top
learning
seed.
moment for Mabel there. Gonna be a learning moment. Take it in stride. I know she's gonna be upset right now, but learn from that, and you know, don't let it happen again. Right? Like that's just a very tough spot. Knowing Mabel, she's gonna handle it well, but crazy. Always comes down to, you know, you can look back on different shots.
Since we only got one match.
Do I have to save you?
I don't plan on falling today.
Okay.
I'll just get some bonus coverage of Jenna Lair of Monmouth and Dakota Fakney of Stephen
did you
F.
get
Austin.
that? Did you get that? She threw a messenger.
I did. We were there in time.
All right. Good work out of you, Aaron.
I try.
Dakota is going to try a different ball here. Get ready for the next matchup. Learn something, especially with it being on the burn. Can I see the matchups? Can I see the bracket?
Sure.
I want to know who's bowling who here.
Well, this might be.
Because if you're a coach here, you're definitely keeping an eye on who bowled where.
Let's see if I can update this for you, Mr. Anderson.
I appreciate that.
Let's see. So this is Brooklyn here.
and Jenna's finishing this game off so strong. She's going to be even more upset because those were some of the best shots in the match, and it just came a little late.
So we have
Thank you, sir. So we are going to have Jordan and Anna, Brooklyn and Marissa, Izzy and Dakota, Katie and Victoria. Some interesting matchups.
all right. And this could be the final shot here, folks, of round 2 here at the Intercollegiate Singles Championships, taking place at Spectrum Entertainment Complex in Wyoming, Michigan, just outside Grand Rapids. Dakota will get the victory as we final tally here. 551 to 499. So that is going to conclude round number 2.
And that concludes round 2 of the Intercollegiate Singles Championship bracket qualification process. Individuals that have advanced to round 3, your practice session will begin in approximately 5 minutes at 9:07. Practice session will begin at 9:07.
All right, we got the announcement there from Zach. So practice going to be starting up again in about 5 minutes, and then we will get into round 3. So wasting little time here to get into this next round. So as we prepare for that, Andrew Anderson will be back with us here for this final round before we get to our semifinalists. We got some cameras to adjust to get ready for this next round. So Andrew, any final parting thoughts before?
Men and women who are competing in round 3 are now allowed to make surface adjustments. Surface adjustments can begin at this time.
Any thoughts for these players as they have a quick turnaround to round 3?
I am curious to see how coaches change ball surfaces here and attack these lanes based on who was there prior. And I gotta believe that a lot of them are very lucky that 13 and 14 is not in play.
I could not agree with you. They looked rough there toward the end of that matchup. So, folks, we are going to go ahead and turn off the volume for a quick second, but don't go too far. We'll be back with round 3 here at the Intercollegiate Singles Championships in just a couple of minutes practice, and then straight into the final 3-game total pinfall match before we know our semifinalists for the CBS Sports Network show. So, for Andrew Anderson joining us, Jason Thomas behind the scenes, I'm Aaron Smith. We'll be right back for round 3 here on Bowl TV. right, folks, we have our announcements from Zach Barton, part of the International Bowling Campus Youth Development Team, and we are ready for round 3. This is it, folks, here at the Intercollegiate Singles Championships for today. After this round, we will know our semifinalists in both the men's and the women's divisions, who will be advancing to CBS Sports Network and bowling for a national title in just a couple of days. My name's Aaron Smith, sitting alongside a PBA Player of the Year in 2018, Andrew Anderson. We are at the Spectrum Entertainment Complex in Wyoming, Michigan, just outside of Grand Rapids for this final round.
It all comes down to this, Aaron. For some of these girls that do not get to bowl the team challenge, the last chance of the year.
Very good.
Men for that side.
Very good point with that. That's an underlying fact with these events. It is the conclusion of the season, and potentially for a couple of these players, could be their final balls rolled as a collegiate athlete. So I'm sure some emotion's going to be coming out in this next round, but we're going to have some excitement, going to have some drama, and we are excited to see.
I'm so interested in these matchups because if you notice, like on 3 and 4 we have Dakota versus Izzy. They both like to throw it a little slow and get around it. On the 7 and 8 matchup, we have Katie and Victoria, who both like to throw it fairly hard, fairly straight. Then on 11 and 12, we have the matchup of the Rev Rate, I'm going to call it. We have Brooklyn and Marissa, who both like to hit on it quite a bit, play a little far left. And then we have a matchup in 15 and 16 between Anna and Jordan, where both are going to be kind of in the middle part lane. Fairly on the slow side, but curving it just a touch. But a lot of similar types of bowlers bowling each other. And it's just crazy how it seems to always match up that way. And then, of course, on 17-18, we have the battle of the Lindenwood bowlers. So Lindenwood will be on the ISC show. And we have Alec Keplinger from Wichita bowling against, from Tusculum. Let me make sure I pronounce it.
Tyler Moore.
Tyler Moore.
Yep.
25 and 26, we have Notre Dame. You can go ahead and say the names.
Connor Novak taking on St. Ambrose's Jordan Monins, and then at 29-30, Petey Virgos from Calumet taking on Steve Coker from Bowling Green State.
A matchup I'm curious about is if Andrew Sachs makes a show at Petey Virgos. Virgos? Is it Virgos?
Virgos, yep.
Virgos. The battle of the flows. Not pros, but flows. They both have quite the hairdos, if I do say so myself. I think I'm going to have to, Aaron, I don't know if you should try first, but one of us should try growing our hair out that long and seeing what it looks like.
I'm not going to lie, right now my hair is incredibly long. I'm due for a haircut as it is, and I've missed it. I've missed that window. I'm ashamed at the length of my hair right now because it's unmanageable.
It's unmanageable.
So I don't think I can go with much more than that. I can't rock it like Petey or Andrew or...
They have some flow. I would have to wear like a headband.
And as we pointed out yesterday, I am much older than you and these kids out here. So
hey,
the odds of me pulling that off
the one player that was older than me is no longer in the field, so therefore the word kid is now back in my vocabulary for this matchup.
Back in play. So once again, Andrew gave you the run down there. So just we still have the pairs the same. They've been run the same, but just one match per pair now across the house. And this is the exciting time, folks. These are the nerves coming into these matches. This is the excitement. This is 3 games away from potentially being on TV, representing your school. Once again, there was no re-oil, so these pairs did have use from round number 1, so the players did get 10 minutes of warm-up to get going once again here. So Andrew, in a situation like this where you're going to a pair you potentially haven't seen, maybe your coach was scouting it out during the match, if you were in a position to potentially see a couple shots. You know, you had your strategy on the fresh. How much are you thinking ahead of, you know, what do I want to do if I make it to match 2, or are you just kind of letting the progression of the day and what you've seen out there, even though you're on a completely different pair, kind of set the initial track for you?
Well, I think it's very situational. If How do I word this? What do I think is correct versus what I think is happening is a little different here. Because if I felt like I was in a position to win, I would take a gander. And if anything, it just kind of takes your mind off your own match for a second. Just take a look at where you might be going, see what's going on, and if you lose, so what? You gained information anyways. But I don't think that really happened much here. Based on how I see some of them playing, I don't think that they really know what happened prior. I don't think they're playing that really into a factor. Earlier today we talked about A games, right? And they're really just leaning towards where they're most comfortable, where can I make the best shots, even if it maybe might not be the most correct way to play them. Where can I make the best shots? And I really, really think that 11-12 is going to be a very high-scoring match. And I say that because the two girls prior, Jenna and Dakota, did not throw a shot left of 15. Not one shot. In practice, nowhere. Maybe a spare wall. And now you have Marissa and Brooklyn, who will not throw a shot right of 15. And so they have all that hook to the right given to them. And the pattern's very fresh in the middle. So I would expect high scores there. Where in the match with Jordan and Anna, they're both playing the middle part of the lane, where we saw Patricia already play the lanes. So it's hard to get left of where Patricia was, really. And Patricia was throwing a little bit of surface. So the lanes are going to be broken down pair to pair, really different for all of these girls. I've already watched Katie on 7 and 8 after bowling in front of us on 13-14 playing left. She's actually struggling getting her ball to hook enough over there. And that just kind of goes to show you how much different these pairs are playing. The 10 minutes does help, but the strategy involved is definitely leaning towards where they're most comfortable right now. I think on the men's side, if you're left-handed and still in this field like Andrew Sachs, I think you have an advantage. Because there's more traffic on the right side lane. Left side's kind of on your own. If you can figure out the fresh, you kind of get it to yourself for a while.
And we noted with Andrew, and trying to think of who's on that pair before him, if he's following. I don't think he's following any left-handers on 17 and 18 after the first round on there, so he's essentially hitting a fresh pair, but we've seen him find his success a little bit later in the block, but I think he is the lone left-hander in the field at the moment on either side.
Slow start for Anna. And towards the end of practice, she threw some really good ones that I thought she had some good ball reaction, so it could be nerves. Could just be the lanes transitioning, but Jordan off to an early lead and see if she can capitalize on Anna's early mistake and make that lead even greater.
Jordan looking to make it 3 out of 4. She qualified out of the Smyrna sectional and did so in dramatic fashion through, I don't remember the exact number without looking it up, but I believe through about the back 6 to shoot 230 the final game to get into the number.
This is Jordan?
Jordan, yep.
And now she's making a run and possibly making the ISC show?
Yeah, that's right.
Very cool.
A flair for the dramatics.
I don't know her very much, but watching her before this match, she was sitting there kind of like playing on her phone. Gotta believe the nerves are going. Not sure how many situations she's been in like this, but so far she's handled it extremely well. And sometimes, you know, we talk about different personalities and how they attack the game of bowling. I almost think that in this situation, sometimes having that kind of go with the flow personality is great, because moments like this don't really affect you as much as those who really want it, you know. I'm one of those ones who really want it all the time, so I almost like pep myself up a little too much, and the nerves get going too much early, so it takes me longer to settle in. But looks like Jordan's settling pretty good here. So throwing some good shots early. I think she liked that one, but staying clean, getting off to a good start. On 11 and 12 we have Brooklyn and Marissa, and Brooklyn with an early 3-bagger before splitting but sparing it. But if she can double here, she can get out to a 40-pin lead with 3 frames to go in the first game. And Black Cloud is back.
Hey, Andrew, we missed you.
Why do I talk?
Happens to the best of us. Marissa, I believe, had the best 3-game set on the women's side during the opening round. She was in the 660s, so averaged 220 on that first pair. They bowled extremely quick. We noted that.
Yeah. That was the one that was done like 8 frames early.
So she's arguably had the longest time to wait to get back into it.
Or the most time to settle down.
Or the most time to settle down.
That's how you look at it, right?
But I think for Marissa Indiana Tech has been a very solid program for the past couple of years, and the women's team did not advance to ITCs, so I believe they did not.
So this, do you know what grade she's in?
I believe she's a senior.
So this is the home run rally.
The home run rally, yes.
This is Brooklyn is a freshman at Arkansas State. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of her in the next few years on the collegiate level. But for Marissa, nothing better than going out with a bang here.
But with the team not making it, I know there was some disappointment when they finished up the season, not doing that. So kind of has, the whole team on her shoulders here.
I gotta believe the team's back at school cheering her on right now.
Absolutely.
Early openings for Anna, chopping the 3-6-10 there. She's got to get it going. She's got to get settled and got to get going. Her ball reaction is better than what she's showing us. That was a much better shot. There we go. There we go. Asking you shall receive, Aaron.
There you go. See, you're back on it, just like that.
Back-to-back opens for Brooklyn after I said something on 11 and 12. And now with a double, Marissa can take a 10-pin advantage. It looks a little to the right, leaving a washout.
Jordan Munt clean through 5 here, halfway point at game 1, round 3, the final round of today.
I really believe that if you just stayed clean for 30 frames and only threw 2 strikes a game, I think you'd win every match.
Grind your way to 6-0?
Yep. I really think you would, at least on the women's side so far. On the men's side, depending on who you bowl and when you bowl them, you might need some more strikes. Because there are strikes being thrown, but very, very randomly. I'm going to call it. Like you see a lot of 160, 250s. You see a lot of 240s, 170s. So it balances out really quick. The lanes transition very fast. Is Hoagland watching?
Is who?
Nick?
Nick Hoagland? I'm not sure. I haven't got.
I would be curious. I would love to make this is my prediction for the pattern. I don't know. This is my prediction right here. I believe that this pattern is 38 feet. I believe it is around, I want to say it's around 27 mils. And I believe that this is either current oil or possibly fire. And I'm probably going to be wrong. It's probably going to be 32 mils, ice, 42 feet. But that is my prediction.
I believe Nick is heading here sometime soon.
Nick is tricky with these patterns. He'll get you. He'll trick you out. And this is one of those ones where I feel like the volume's way lower than what's anticipated, and that's why they're transitioning so fast. When do we find out the pattern? After the show?
After the show.
Okay. I gotta write down what my prediction was.
The good news is we have it archived here on Bowl TV, so you can go
Perfect.
back to your account and watch it, and then double check when it's all said and done.
Jordan with a double in the 6th and 7th. I don't know how loud I'm talking, Aaron, because Jordan's sitting right in front of us. But early double there, off to a 50-pin advantage if they both finish out this game. And then Brooklyn can make the washout for 200 on the nose, with Marissa having 210 max.
So again, we do have live scoring available, folks. Courtesy of Americas. Anna gets the hit in the 8th.
And she threw her arms up like, if I could just do that more, you know? Like, sometimes that's all it is, too. Like, you just want to throw enough good shots, because it's hard to make moves when you're little all over the place. You're kind of just trying to battle through it.
Taking a look at the live scoring, and there is another left-hander in the field on the men's side, Jordan Monins from St. Ambrose. So I did not see him when I scanned the concourse here at Spectrum Entertainment Complex. But looking at the live scoring, I left out Jordan in the left-handed conversation. But he is currently up early against Connor Novak of Notre Dame, Ohio. Nobody quite into game 2 yet, and wow,
Ooh, she
three
almost makes it.
3 of the big 4.
Oh. And this is why I think Jordan has a great personality for this situation. Those are not great ones. She splits. She doesn't shake her head side to side. She shakes up and down. She goes, that was me. You know, let's make a better one. Let's try to make it, move on. And I think that's the right way to look at it. I wish I looked at it more like that. My head would be moving side to side so quick that I might get a headache from it. Did she make it?
Oh.
So close.
We'll have
Good
her
try.
first open, but holds the advantage early here. 9th and 10th left to go. Game 1 was Brooklyn Boudreau up 22, 200 to 178 after game 1 against Marissa Carey over on 11 and 12.
Marissa's not liking that right lane so far. Strikes, a lot of strikes in the left lane, not much to show for it in the right lane. Brooklyn's ball hits hard. Great shot there by Jordan, much better shot. Leaves a makeable spare. If you're Anna in this case, I don't know if there's many better coaches you want to be sitting behind you than Kim Terrell-Kearney.
She's pretty good.
Yeah. I think that if you need somebody to get you some either ball reaction or some advice and just how to handle a situation, I think that Anna's got the best one for it in this situation.
North Carolina A&T will be competing in the ITC coming up this week as well, so the rest of Anna's teammates will be joining her in the greater Grand Rapids area.
I've got to believe that they're hoping that they're celebrating something tonight. Big early double for Marissa, putting a stamp on the match, saying, hey, I'm still here, I'm not going anywhere. You might have a lead, but better watch out.
Better watch out. I like that.
I think that was a good shot. I thought that was a pretty good shot. And all that tells me is I don't know if that's the right ball for Anna. I think that you're going to see a ball change here in the 10th frame, at least on the fill ball. And I do not, unless she makes a drastic move, I don't foresee her throwing that ball again.
Now, Andrew, that's one thing we really haven't talked about. We've seen a few different players attacking this pattern from a couple different angles. For the most part, it seemed like players are navigating a little bit farther inside here. She's going to take the 2. You know, what do you feel is, you know, from what I can see here, that looks like, you know, looks pearl or something with.
That is the Rotogrip nuclear cell that she's throwing right now. So a high-end ASIM pearl, and it's definitely on the shiny side. And I actually think that in this situation, it's too much ball. And what I mean by that is when she gets it right, it burns up a little bit. When she gets up the lane, it saves energy and goes. So in this situation, you're probably looking at a move left with a weaker ball. So that way when you miss right, when it sees that friction, it doesn't burn up. You want something that's more responsive, comes off the spot a little harder. And she doesn't have to work as hard to get it there, because the only reason that shot went high was because the last shot that was good didn't get all the way there, so she helped it. She tried to give it some more rev rate, make sure it got there, and it got there too much. So true signs to say, hey, it's time for a ball change. You can't keep blaming yourself here. You can only throw the ball so good, and it's time to get some help from the equipment. So Brooklyn opened the match in the third with a washout. She just missed a 10 on the washout. Oh, another open. When it rains, it pours for Anna right now. But Marissa Carey with a trip 4 in the third to now take the lead in the match against Brooklyn and take momentum. So Jordan with a double here can get into the 2-0s and take a 60 pin advantage game 1. 60 pins in this format is a lot, and Marissa gives it right back, leaving the 3-6-10 in the fourth frame, takes the 3 right off the 6-10. So if you're Brooklyn, sigh of relief. Get another chance to get the momentum back on your side and throw a W and take the lead.
Couple of updates after game 1. Andrew Sachs ahead of his teammate Troy Owens, 217 to 202 on 17 and 18. Looks like Petey Burgos from Calumet is going to have a game 1 lead over Steven Coker. He's going to be in the 230s. Steven at 172. Alec Keplinger, our top overall seed, continuing to cruise as Jordan turns into a double with the Brooklyn. She's going to be in the 2-0s. Keplinger going to be in the 2 teens. Tyler Moore can max out at 204. Jordan Monins is going to have a lead over Connor Novak. Some struggles in game 1 for Connor. He's got 75 in the 7th with a strike in the 8th. Looking to get something going here. Some of our other matches on the women's side. Izzy Allen is going to be up against Dakota Fakney. Izzy with 226. And Dakota can max out at 182.
40 pin advantage early. So a 59 pin lead for Jordan over Anna going into game 2. So the sizable deficit. I think you gotta, if you're Anna here, I think you gotta ball change. I think you gotta get out of that, gotta get into a different zone, different mindset, refresh. 59 pins in 2 games, right? You gotta feel like you gotta make up pins early, but it's quite the opposite. You gotta keep grinding, keep making good shots. Your opponent only had 2-0. It's not like they're shooting 240. You don't need 270 here. You just throw some good shots. We are getting a ball change. We are getting a ball change from Anna. Looks like she's gonna go to a high road. So another open 2-8-10 for Brooklyn in the 5th to give the momentum back to Marissa, who strikes in the 5th, looking for a double on the left lane that she did just 3-6-10 on.
Another update on the women's side after 1. Victoria Jardina, 189 to 177 advantage against Katie Rock.
Look at the trip 4 on 15. That was a move left, weaker ball. I don't know, Aaron. You might be the bowling ball whisperer today.
The Bowling Ball Whisperer, starring Andrew Anderson, coming to a theater near you.
That's nice. It's got a ring to it.
But how much is that? I mean, she just shot 140. You know, things were not going her way. Just to see the pins fall your way, you caught a break there. How much does that just kind of loosen you up and just kind of get you going?
She missed 2 makeables that first game, 3-6-10 and then the 10th frame. The last thing you want to do is shoot at a spare, like right now. You want to get your swing loose. Nothing better for a right-hander than chipping the 4-pin. And then Marissa did double in the 6th, so pressure on Brooklyn here to throw a couple good shots. Her last 2 shots in the left lane are washout 210, and now that Marissa's putting some pressure on her, throwing a lot of strikes, Brooklyn is ball changing on the left lane, so she's going to be throwing 2 different bowling balls on 11 and 12, one for 11, one for 12. It's interesting. We'll see how that plays out.
We do have some questions in the chat. Question about how many bowling balls players are allowed to use.
I
And
believe it is 5.
the number is 5. You're limited to 5 that you can check in, so you have to build a versatile bag from that. And for most players, do have a spare ball with them as well, so you have to take that into consideration. So good question on that. And for Diane asking, do you know why Nebraska women don't participate in the ITC like McKendree and other schools, where they do ITC and NCAA? That is purely a by-school decision for the NCAA teams.
And it's a number of events, too. I think they're allowed. And some schools find that they would rather bowl an extra couple of NCAA events than the ITCs. And others schools plan to have the ITCs as a part of their schedule. I believe Arkansas State's a great example of they all bowl the ISCs, but they do not bowl the ITCs.
Correct.
Where you have teams like McKendree bowling both, and so on. There's other teams as well.
And Andrew made a great point about the competition days, and that's a big part of it as well, because teams can essentially elect into the USBC collegiate aspect to gain points for those events throughout the course of the year if they choose to do so. But competition days are strictly monitored in the NCAA side, so so teams have to find a way to either get enough events in to qualify, or if they, as you said, just want to focus completely on the NCAA portion of it, they are allowed to do so.
That bucket has been treacherous today on 15 and 16. That is Jordan left the bucket, unfortunately chops it. And Anna now has a chance to get into this match. Found 59 pins, given an early opening. Marissa Carey did spare in the 7th, so Brooklyn's looking at 210 max. Marissa's looking at 242 max with 3 frames to go. So we could be looking at a 10-pin advantage for Marissa going into Game 3. And there's just not a better feeling there. You get away with one. You trip before, you get away with another, and that 149 is now no longer in your head. You're just like, let's take advantage of this. Let's get going.
Let's go.
Right. Let's get some fist pumps going. I want to see Kim throw a couple out there.
Coach Kim sitting just to our right here in the Bowl TV booth.
I might have to protect you from her fist pumps. I had to protect you from TJ's earlier.
This is true. Just been saving me all week, Andrew.
Yeah, Marissa's got a strike in the 8th, and now Brooklyn has to shoot at the 3, 6, 9, 10 in the 8th. Losing pin counts. Oh, does she do it? Does she do it? Does she?
Oh.
So close. So close.
Andrew, we have a question for you in here that relates to these players as well, and obviously we talked about the CBS Sports Network aspect coming up next for the semifinalists, the top 4 in both the men's and the women's division. And Caleb was curious, what's it like being under the TV lights in a PBA final, and kind of how quick it goes, and just what's that experience like for you?
The first one is always the fastest. I don't even remember my first show. I mean, it was a blimp. I mean, literally. You get there, you're like warming up, you're feeling good. It's warm because of the lights. They're bright, especially. And at the time, we had fans at the moment, so a lot of anxious energy in both yourself and the crowd. And it's just an enlightening experience, because you really find out who you are when you don't have your legs underneath you. You have to kind of trust your talent, trust your practice, trust your hard work, and you just kind of let the talent come out. You just try to throw good shots, and you just literally all you focus on is, the shot at hand. The focus level goes up. But in this case, for these players, I would assume that there might even be more added pressure than what I feel at a PBA event. Because at a PBA event, I'm bowling for my sponsors, I'm bowling for myself. And I kind of live or die on my own there, where if you're in the single show, like let's use Jordan as an example. I promise you, that whole Tusculum bowling, that whole school is behind her. Her team is behind her. And she is she's trying to do it for more than just herself. You know, like, it is cool you get a singles title, but your name will be on it with your school's name, and that just means so much more. So when it comes to getting to the TV show for these students, there's going to be added pressure, and it's not because of they want the added pressure. It's just because that's what's given to them. You're not wearing your own name on your back. I mean, you look around, you see schools, and you're representing something bigger than yourself.
Excellent stuff there, Andrew. Thanks for the question, Caleb. We appreciate it in the Bowl TV chat. To our left here on 11 and 12, Marissa Carey opened in the 9th frame. She left a 4-6-7 split and comes back in the 10th and splits as well.
Max score for Brooklyn. You know, I said this is going to be a high score match tonight. Brooklyn can only max at 172. So no matter what, Marissa's making up pins here, but she's got to not be happy with back-to-back opens possibly if she does not make this. And losing some pin count there. So 187. So Brooklyn can actually step up here, throw all three, and keep the lead. And she was, I promise you, through 7 frames, she was not thinking about the lead. She was thinking about how do I stay in the match. And now she's, you know, momentum. You know, she can take it right here. Throw a double, keep the lead, let Marissa know she's not going anywhere. A couple of early opens from Jordan. She did chop the 2-4-5 again. Made a spare in the 4th. Anna with the 3-10. Great shot by Brooklyn in the 10th. Throwing the first one. She now throws the second one to keep the lead going into game 3. And on the men's side, on 17-18, we see a high-scoring game going on. Troy Owens strikes spare 5-bagger. Andrew Sachs double spare 4-bagger. So, the battle of the Lindenwood Lions, right?
That's right. Emil would be proud that you got the mascot right.
Yeah, Mill's out here watching, I'm sure smiling. We have a little inside joke of how often when I see him, you know, when he's busy, he's in tune, he's trying to get ready for a live stream, you know, I try to cheer him up, hit him with hey bro, you know, it's okay to smile once in a while. And now every time he sees me, he gives me the biggest smile I've ever seen, and I try to match it.
Some additional questions in the chat here from Joe. Do these bowlers have the ability to bring more than the 5 balls and keep extra ones in a paddock? Or it's 5 period? It is 5 period, so you have to check in your 5.
Prior to competitions, prior to practice session starting, I believe. I don't think you get to practice with more than the 5. So all 3 in the 10th for Brooklyn for 172. She loses 15 pins there, but I believe she still takes the lead by 6 pins going into game 3. And then Anna misses the hardest spare ever. And this is going to be a great example. Watch this, Aaron. She leaves a 310, misses a 310. You put the 6 pin there, guaranteed me.
All right. There you heard it here first, folks. So 372 to 365. Brooklyn with the advantage. Up 7 pins, 1 game to go there on 11 and 12.
Every time.
You folks can't see it, but Andrew is actually like leaning back in his chair, you know, hands above his head, just knowing she was going to make that.
Oh yeah, no problem. No problem. That was a for sure make.
So our first match into game 3 on 11 and 12 on the women's side, Marissa Carey and Brooklyn Boudreau.
Good start from Marissa there. Especially after back-to-back opens to finish the last game. She's got to be beating herself up a little bit. So really nice to start off with a good shot like that. Ball change for Jordan. Looks like she moved a little right. Jordan's just trying to stay afloat here. She has a lead. She has a sizable lead, you know, and Anna's giving some pins back. Jordan's just trying to not make mistakes. And that's a tough place to be. When you have a lead that's sizable, you're just like, let's not mess up, right? But you can't be thinking like that. You got to be on the attack at all times. Let's try to get more pins, you know? And I think that Jordan's trying to play it safe, trying not to mess up. I'd like to see her be a little more aggressive.
And do you think that's a learning curve for? I mean,
Oh, yes.
when we look at the score, it's almost 60 pins the difference after game one, and you can't let up in these situations.
Yeah, so in a 3-game match, I would argue that it is harder to bowl from that far in front than it is from behind, because you have nothing to lose if you're down 60 pins. Like, the only thing you can do is go out there and bowl good. You have a lot to lose when you're 60 pins above. You have a lot of mistakes that could be made. She leaves the 2-4-5 again, and she struggled with the spare so far in this game. So let's see if she can get back on it. She looks a little rushed to me. Not taking as much time as she was. Looks like a good spare. Good spare from Jordan. Just trying to stay afloat here. Brooklyn with a 9 spare in the first, but a roll 2 pin on that left lane that she has now ball changed again on. So she really feels like that left lane's hard, and she is finishing on it. Opened by Troy Owens in the 9th to put a max score at 245. Andrew Sachs is now in the 240s with the first strike in the 10th, and can shoot 258. Early double for Marissa.
Oh,
Great shot by Anna. Back to the nuclear cell, but that was definitely a zone change.
mm-hmm.
Definitely playing the inside part of the lane more. And now she's finally left of where Patricia was playing that last match, and I think that that'll help her ball reaction. And now that's a triple from Marissa early. A lot of pressure on Brooklyn here to stay in this match.
Once again, we kind of ran down the scenarios. Brooklyn, a freshman this year at Arkansas State, so a long collegiate career ahead of her. Fresh off a TV appearance for the NCAA Women's Bowling Championships, where Arkansas State finished as the runner-up to the University of Nebraska. But for Marissa Carey, a past All-American for Indiana Tech, her team did not advance. A senior this year, looking to find a way to continue her collegiate career for at least one more game. Trouble for Brooklyn in frame 3.
I cannot tell you how big that is for Marissa. It's bad. It's not good for Brooklyn, but it's so good for Marissa. I mean, Marissa. I like watching body language. I do, and I enjoy seeing what situations put people in. And like, Marissa's nervous. She's done some really good shots for as nervous as she seems. And having Brooklyn give her an opening there in the 3rd, as she's on a 3-bagger, is a big confidence boost. And now it's going to be an uphill battle for Brooklyn to get back in this match. And on the 2-8 spare on 15. That was close. Great shot by Brooklyn on left lane on lane 11. Down 44 pins this game, max score-wise. Marissa can step up here and start with the front 4. JT does have the camera on her right now. I'm not sure if that'll play a factor or not, but we will see.
He's been pretty steady recording here, so I'm potentially trying to get some extra coverage here for CBS Sports Network, as this will be the first match to wrap up.
And through the face, but only leaves the 6-9-10. That was a much better shot by Jordan. Much more aggressive through the finish. Shaking her head, she knows that was better. Leaves just a 4-pin. Should be an easy spare.
Yeah, everyone else still. Let's see, game 2 update. Andrew Sachs, 248 that game, up 465 to 437 against Troy Owens, his teammate at LU. Yeah, this is They just started game 3. The Carrie Boudreau match. Moving right along. Katie Robb and Victoria Jardina putting together some big numbers. Up on 7 and 8 in game 2. Katie can still shoot 259. Yeah, but open in 10th for Victoria. 216, she's at 405. Katie Robb can get to 436 if she strikes out the 10th. Jordan still looking for her first strike after 207 in the opener. And another light hit on lane 15.
Getting just 5. Pin count. Pin count's huge. So Marissa 9 spare on the 5th. Another split by Brooklyn on the right lane. Good spare by Jordan.
Marissa clean through 5, early 3-bagger. Second open for Brooklyn, 74 in the 5th after that open, so that match has swung in Marissa's favor. Brooklyn kind of taking a reset there.
Victoria on 7 and 8 open in the 10th for 216, but Katie Robb with the spare here on the bucket, and she does make it, is in the 230s. So they're figuring that pair out pretty good.
With the spare, Katie's going to have a slight advantage heading into the final game. Victoria in the books at 405 for 2. With a strike on her fill ball, Katie would be at 412. You feel it's gotten a little quieter in here. It feels like
The anxious energy is coming out.
It really is. It's kind of tensed up inside
I took one of the ears off because I wanted to start listening to some of the nuances and the coaches, and it's getting to that time. It's coming down to the end. Brooklyn has that left lane figured out. That right lane is just giving him a bunch of trouble. Marissa with a great shot, leaving a 9-pin in the on lane 12 and frame 6. But has a pretty commanding lead. Max score 255. Brooklyn's max score is 224. Hannah stepping up in the 9th here with 211, being the max score. Looking to gain some pins back on that 59-pin deficit. Great shot, chopping the 10 out. Oh, on lane 11, Marissa had the 5-7-10 standing for a minute before the 5 and the 7 fell late, leaving just the 10-pin. Another, ball change for Jordan. Great shot, leaving the 8-10. She is playing a little too much in the friction right now. Ball's burning up fairly early. And I can get right back in this match. Seen so many times today. 60 pin, 70 pin, 80 pin advantages just gone in the game. Big shot for Brooklyn. Ball change in the right lane. It almost goes Brooklyn, leading the 6.
Yeah, I set up an additional camera for us here for potentially go back and forth on this 11 and 12 match since it's going to be wrapping up here shortly. So, folks, if we
Jordan's a little out of sorts here after throwing a good shot, leaving 8-10. Aaron, could you give us a score update on the 3 and 4 match between Dakota and Izzy?
I can. 419 to 418. Dakota up by 1.
Dakota with 237 game 2. Coming down to the wire in all these matches, it seems like Anna's going to get a lot of pins back game 2 with Jordan. It's going to be a very close game. Brooklyn is down 36 pins, 34 pins total with 3 frames to go. Pretty much a must-strike situation.
All right, let's see if this works then. We'll go for her 8th frame. Hopefully you can still hear us. And delivers. Back to Jordan for her. Fill ball goes back to the ball she started with.
She's a little uncomfortable now. She threw that really. I mean, 0 strikes that game. Just cannot catch a break. 147, and it looks like Anna's going to get a lot of those pins back if she doubles. How many times have we seen 60, 70 pin leads just vanish? 59 pin lead for Jordan after game 1, and if Anna doubles here, the lead is in Anna's favor.
It does seem like having that big first game has been somewhat of a downfall here.
It really does seem that way. Okay. Spare for Marissa, leaving 3-6 in spare. Max score 231. Max score for Brooklyn 204.
Once again, that was a 7-pin advantage to Brooklyn heading into that match.
So at this point, if Brooklyn strikes out and Marissa stays clean, we could have a tie game.
Oh.
I've been waiting for one.
Once again, 9th and 10th frame roll-off. We'll see Marissa's 9th frame right here.
Looks a little to the right, and she leaves the 210. This is what we live for. These moments. Nervousness is getting there. She didn't take a lot of time. Not her most committed shot, but big moment here. She can make this spare, keep the pressure on Brooklyn. She is not. She does not convert. Anna with a spare 191 max. If she strikes on the fill, she will gain 44 pins back and be down 15 going into game 3. Okay, so Brooklyn 9th and 10th. With a 3-bagger here, she makes the ISC singles show.
Let's head back to it. 9th frame up first.
She is not struck on this lane in 8 frames. That's left.
Gonna catch it.
Huge
Oh.
break. Huge break. She was not comfortable on that lane. You can see that. She's been very comfortable on the left lane. She is huge break, Aaron. Huge break. And Marissa just got to be beating herself up after that. A little bit of an errant shot in 210.
So once again, bonus coverage here on 11 and 12.
So any mark here by Brooklyn will make Marissa mark. But a double locks her, double 7, double 8 will lock herself in the show. Better shot.
Oh,
Does
that was
not get there,
almost
but she leaves the apron. So she spares this.
183.
She
Nice.
spares this and gets a count. It makes Marissa mark to make the ISC show.
.555 Brooklyn's max score. Any type of mark for Marissa.
Good spare attempt. She needs count here. She needs count here to have a chance.
And taking a look, Marissa is trying to keep herself distracted in the
The
moment.
coaches are going insane back here. The amount of nervous energy behind us is crazy. The Indiana Tech coach pacing back and forth. Justin Kostick, the Arkansas State coach, so happy about that Brooklyn. Thought that was a good shot in the 10th, but it did not get there. So Marissa, being a senior, could be her last shots in college. But she most certainly does not want this to be the last shots. Okay, so she got enough count. This now breaks
Any mark.
any mark.
Brooklyn in the books at 5:53.
Anna with a strong start. She's down 15 pins going in game 3. Marissa needs a mark.
Oh,
She
that's
gets the
way to
best
do
mark
it.
possible.
That is the way to do it. Bounce back, and that's for the Warriors back home in Fort Wayne, folks. That is a win for Marissa Carey.
Senior ISC show. Can't write up much better than that. And for Brooklyn, we talk about learning experiences. We saw one with Mabel earlier. We're seeing one with Brooklyn. Brooklyn throws it unbelievable. She is a freshman. She's going to be here many times, and I'm happy for Marissa. Senior, I know we've said it, but what a way to go out. And hopefully she can make some noise on the show, make it interesting. And hats off to Brooklyn for a great performance her freshman year. Not too shabby making the team show for the NCAA National Championship, and then finishing in the top 8 at ISCs.
Absolutely. Well put, Andrew. So our first ISC finalist has been determined. Marissa Carey from Indiana Tech advancing to the top 4. Going to be on CBS Sports Network for the Women's ISC show.
Can we get a score update for Victoria and Katie?
Give me 1 second here, and I will have that for you.
Thank you.
That was a 4:11 to 4:05 match after 2, advantage Katie Robb. So just 6 pins separating them, and pretty even so far through the first couple of frames. The final tally on the Carey Boudreaux match, 563 to 553 final tally. Marissa, the first player in to the ISC. Pete Virgos with the advantage heading into game 3 against Stephen Coker over on 29 and 30. Jordan Monins is going to be up against Connor Novak as they prepare for game 3. 437 to 386. Alec Keplinger up against Tyler Moore.
Jordan with an open in the second. She's just struggling. She hasn't had she just cannot buy a strike. It's been about 15 frames without one. Anna's just kind of grinding along. Jordan needs to make one of those moves, we're talking about. Do something drastic. Don't beat your head against the wall. Don't keep trying the same stuff. Good shot there. Good shot. That looked like more ball speed, more aggressive. Give it the fist pump. This match has gotten really close.
Very close.
Very close, very quick. And Izzy Allen with an early 3-bagger in that match, and I believe that there's an early open by Dakota, maybe 2 early opens. So big lead for Izzy early in this match.
That is correct. 2 opens from Dakota, and that was a 1-pin match. Dakota with the advantage. So Izzy has flipped it to her favor. Way down on 3 and 4.
Yeah, Dakota's got to get it together here. Got to throw some strikes at Izzy to create some pressure.
Taking a look at 17 and 18, you can see it on our screen here. You see the big 4 up there. That's from Troy Owens of Lindenwood, and he might be running out of frames here against Andrew Sachs, his teammate at LU. Andrew held the advantage heading into the final game, and max score now for Troy is 209. Andrew can just fill a couple frames here. He's moving on.
Good job at
to the
Dakota.
ISC.
Good job at Dakota on lane 3. Packed all 10, but at quite the disadvantage now, right? So gonna have to get something going. Gonna need some help from Izzy to get back in that match. But on 15-16, good spare by Anna. Oh, Victoria on lane 8 with a late trip forward, and she needed it because Katie had a 3-bagger going in and has a lead. Huge trip forward in the 6th frame.
shot there. Defining shot for Andrew Sachs. Looks like he is going to
The flow. It's the flow.
flow onto CBS Sports Network.
Anna. And not think that was that bad of a shot. She might have missed it just a touch, leaving the washout. Izzy with a 4-bagger. Throwing 2 different bowling balls on 3 and 4. We've seen that a couple times now. That means they're starting to learn the pairs. Lanes are broken down more than the other. Izzy going for an early 5-bagger and a huge lead. Can Anna make the spare? Can she make the spare? Ooh, hooks right past it. Izzy trips the 4. So that is an early 6-bagger. So must strike situation for Dakota. Izzy's got it going. Dakota's gonna need some help. Katie Robb with a 4-bagger. Max score of 270 with 3 frames to go.
Saw a little emotion there too.
Oh yeah, she kind of wears it, you know. We even saw in qualifying yesterday. She gave him some fist bumps. She wants it. She's here for it.
And we are just about official on 17 and 18. Andrew Sachs is going to be representing Lindenwood at the
that
ISC.
2-4-5 has been a tricky spare for Jordan. Missing 3 of them now. Still in this match, she's still technically got a lead, but she just 1 strike in about 20 frames now. Just a hard place to be, and you can't knock them all over, and you feel like your spare ball's working a little hard.
You talked about momentum, and Anna's had a couple of moments where it
She
seemed
could
like
take
she
it
was
all.
going to go.
She could take it all, but she's just giving some back. That was a little slow. Okay. Did not split. Looked like Dakota opened again in the 6th. Did throw a strike in the 7th. It looks like Izzy's going to kind of climb away with that one, but something for Dakota here is, you know, she says the team event this week, and her team's going to need her. Get the rhythm going again, throw some good shots to end this match, gain some confidence, get ready for the team event. Jordan with a good spare. Anna can now double and put all the pressure on Jordan. Take the lead for the first time since about frame 4 of the match.
It looked like we'll see a ball change coming up there from Jordan as well. She took the thumb out, put it in that ball we saw her using during game 2. Izzy Allen still in cruise control. She did not strike in frame 7, but left herself a makeable spare, and
Big break by Anna. That pair just looks difficult. Just doesn't look very fun at the moment. Battling both some shot making, some nerves. Looks like Andrew Sachs making the ISC show for Lindenwood.
he is locked in. He will be advancing.
Well, there will be one Andrew on the show.
Hey, hey.
I like that.
See, I like that, getting the Andrew on show ratio up that way.
Yes. Better shot by Anna.
Oh,
That's a
wow.
foul.
It's been so tough to get there, and then you get there, and then that happens.
There's the emotion we've been waiting for out of Kim. She wanted that one. That was a great shot. Great shot. You know, and that's one of those ones where give and take, right? You got the Brooklyn. You kind of take it right back. It's going to be a grind-out match here, I think.
Katie Robb up 27 on Victoria Giardino with just 2 frames left to go. Victoria's going to need to find some strikes and put some pressure on Katie. Uh-oh.
Hooking the fastball at it. I know Kim was nervous on that one.
It's looking like Petey Virgos has struck on 6 out of his 7 shots over on 29 and 30. Looks like he is approaching a victory here as well. Jordan Monens has a big lead early on, so he just has to find a way to fill some frames and stay ahead. Still a little close between Alec Keplinger and Tyler Moore.
Oh, the worst break there for Jordan. Just struggling. She's leaving the 9-10. You just wish that one of them would have fallen, but it is makeable. If she misses this, the lead is in Anna's favor. I think she made it. Hook. Oh, close. Okay, Jordan needs to do something, right? She's throwing the same ball, not taking much time here. She's going for it. Maybe she felt like that wasn't a very good shot. It does look like she's moving a couple left here. That was a move left. That looks good. Great shot. Great
shot.
bounce back shot.
Best
And
shot
that
of
was
the game.
like a 3 or 4 move left. Been trying to keep track of where their feet are. That was definitely a move left.
Again, this was a 15-pin advantage to Jordan entering this game.
I think we're going to see some emotion out of Katie if she strikes here. I'm pretty sure this just locks it up.
We did have a spare in the 9th from Victoria, so this would...
This would pretty much lock it up if she throws a strike here in the 9th frame. Oh, and
3-10.
ironically, both girls roll at the same time on lane 16 and lane 8. They both leave the 3-10. The hardest spare in the game, possibly, depending on who you ask.
Well, if Katie picks it up, she can still get to 648. Max for Victoria Jardina would be 621. So even if she doesn't make this, she can still step up in the 10th.
Yeah, but
for
you want to
Katie
make
Robb.
it.
But you want to
wanna-
make it.
you wanna
Yes.
make it. You don't.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. She might be thinking about that, but I think it does help the chance of making the spare, knowing that you have some pins to play with. Does Anna make it? Anna does not. Coming down to the final stretch here.
It's just back and forth. And
She
Katie does
miss
not.
it. She does miss it. That spare's hard. Spare's a hard spare. Okay, so what?
So she needs a mark. Katie Robb needs a mark in the 10th.
To shut her out.
To shut her out.
Okay.
Victoria can get to 621 if she strikes out. Strike, spare, strike is 627 for Katie Robb. Izzy Allen is going to advance to the ISC show as well. She is...
Looks good by Anna. Great shot. Gets a 7 out that time. So
This is anybody's match right here.
Yeah, 100%. Because if Jordan strikes here, if she throws a double, she's up 15 going into the 10th frame. She has a 15-pin advantage still, yes? Yeah, she does. Okay. Katie Robb, just like we saw with last match, just needs a mark. The best park Mossball is a strike, and that looks like
That could be...
a washout, but 1, 2, 4, 8. And Jordan does miss right, but leaves a makeable spare, which is huge.
So it was not a washout. She got the 10-pin out.
So she needs to make the 1, 2, 4, 8.
1, 2, 4, 8.
The nerves. They'll get you. They're catching up.
Petey Virgos from Calumet officially is going to advance. He's done what he's needed to do.
Good spare by Jordan. Jordan strikes here. All the pressure on Anna. So Anna can control her own fate here. 201 max, 181 max for Jordan. So technically they both strike out. Anna's 5-pin victory, but the pin count is heavily in Jordan's favor.
Katie is up. Once again, needs the mark and then 5 pins.
Good shot from Jordan. Oh, just does not get there. She does not. She has back-to-back opens. And now
Double
TJ,
six.
the coach for Lawrence Tech, is
Double six.
double six for Victoria to control your own fate. This is what you work so hard for. In these moments, you just kind of let your talent take over. You look at something, you try to hit it, try to make the best shot possible. You don't worry about striking or not. You just make a good shot. Does Jordan make the spare? Jordan does not make the spare.
All right, this is winning time here for Anna.
For both of them.
Victoria find a double shoot up on the approach now. Lane number 8.
Looks good.
Oh,
Leaves the 4 pin. Katie Robb will make the show, and Katie's got to feel like that's a little bit of a blessing after that 10th frame, but congratulations to her.
I saw her and Coach Alicia Current back there, kind of watching that transpire.
Great run for Victoria. She bowled great. So now all eyes on Anna, who now throws a huge, huge double. So any mark here for Anna. We see that a lot now, but any mark for Anna, she will be the 4th competitor for the ISC show.
Make it to CBS Sports Network.
Stubborn 7.
Still needs the spare. And once again, you talk about this format and just finding a way to defeat your opponent. We're going to see some of these scores. Victoria is going to be north of 600. This is a low 500 match.
It's just all about drawing. Who you draw, where you draw them. Some of these pairs are just brutal. They're just grind out matches. And then some pairs, you feel like you got some score. Double dribbled it, and she makes it. So
That.
she needs 5. She needs 5 pins.
.686.607. PD Virgos defeats Stephen Coker. That match is official. 2 matches still going left on the men's side. This is it for the women's side.
Stay on the lane. Get there. One of the best shots of the day.
Anna Elijah from North Carolina A&T on the show. And see the big hug with Coach Kim to our right.
Proud moment there. And Jordan, we talk about learning experiences. You know, she has that big lead. She just did not throw many strikes these last couple games. That was the undoing. Missed a couple makeables. Like, you're going to look back, and those are going to be the bugaboo. But great run. Great run. To barely make it in, right? Make a run to make it through sectionals, to then come down to the final frame to make the show. Not sure what grade she's in, but she had a great year. Gotta be proud. Gotta be proud of the run that she made.
So now just 2 matches left on our men's side. Let's see what we can do here, Andrew. You got me, right?
I got you, man. I'll hold you. Yeah, let's see what you got here.
Let's see if we can get some bonus coverage of the Keplinger-Moore match. Once again, this is available to watch right behind the pair if you'd like, but since we're here chatting, having a good time, let's see if we got that right. That is Tyler Moore of Tusculum. Who went up for the spare, so let's take a look at live scoring. So that actually was a split up there for Tyler. He's getting ready for the 9th frame. Alec Keplinger is still up. Alec has had a rough game. but had an early advantage. Tyler hasn't taken enough advantage here. It's not going to strike in the ninth.
So his max score is now 546, yes?
556.
556, okay. And Alec Kleplinger, so Alec needs to stay clean. And
Yep.
he's having a hard time staying clean so far this game, but hopefully he can hit the pocket a couple times. Like I said, nerves get to you around this time. But Alec has a lot of experience here. Did make the junior gold show in Detroit. Won junior gold, did he not?
Mm-hmm. That's correct, yep.
So he has experience winning.
He's from Coldwater.
Yeah, he's gonna use that experience, ride on it right here, try to throw a couple shots at the pocket, and move on. You know.
So Alec will be stepping up for his ninth frame. Jordan Monins and Connor Novak still bowling at 25 and 26. Jordan is going to win that match in advance as well, so St. Ambrose will be on the show. And two lefties on the men's show. Ninth frame here for Alec. Comes in light, and that turned into just a 2-pin, I believe.
Which is fine. 2-pin is fine here. So he's at 550.
550 now, so...
So 7-pin. So any spare is good here.
Any spare is basically
So the rough start from Tyler really came back to haunt him. Made a run. And, you know, Alec, the number 1 seed, you know, staying alive. And the number 2 seed.
Yeah, PD kind of ran over this tournament. Even going back to sectionals, led in Addison, and then, oh, well, once again, just needs 7 pins, but
Making it interesting.
making it more interesting
than he wants it to be.
than it needs to be, absolutely. But this is where Coach Hall of Famer Rick Steelsmith's got to say, hey, gotta just make a good shot here. That's all you gotta do. Get it close. Don't need anything crazy to happen here.
I promise you this is nerves. You're not going to see somebody of his caliber miss too many 2-pins.
And
That will be enough,
that
but
is
barely.
7, but yeah, he is...
And if you're Tyler, you're stunned that you only lose by a couple pins here if you strike out.
This is pretty crazy. You know, if he doesn't make this, he's in the 120s, but it's going to be barely enough to hold on.
Rick Steelsmith went up and took a gander, but what a crazy finish. Alec, be unfortunate to make the show, and you're going to have to pull himself together for team event the next couple days, and then good spare. Makes up the 2-pin, but...
So there we have it, folks. It's been a wild and interesting way of getting there, but we know our 8 finalists, 4 on the men, 4 on the women's side. So our women's field is going to be Marissa Carey from Indiana Tech, Anna Olaja from North Carolina A&T, Katie Robb from Delaware State, and Izzy Allen from McKendree on the men's side. We're going to have Andrew Sachs from Lindenwood, Alec Keplinger from Wichita State, Jordan Mons from St. Ambrose, and Petey Virgos from Calumet College. Folks, those are your individuals who will be representing their schools and the ISC on CBS Sports Network. Good question from Jada in the chat. Those shows are going to be taped on Saturday, so we will put out a press release that says if you do not want to find out the results, do not open this press release. But the first show will be, for the ISC, will be Tuesday, May 11th. That'll be the women's show at 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network, and then the men's ISC show will be the following Tuesday, May 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network. And then the team shows May 25th for the women's ITC show, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And then finally, the men's ITC show June 1st at 8 p.m. Eastern. So those are the times coming up. This actually does conclude our coverage for today. So Andrew, you got your coffee in?
Got my coffee in. I'm going to go get some swings on the golf simulator back in the back.
Well, there you go.
Get some practice in myself, probably.
It's not even 11 o'clock yet.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
We've already had a full productive day.
Yep. Yep. Might need a nap. Might need a nap. Well, thanks for having me, Aaron. That was fun. That was interesting. That was that was some crazy finishes to some of those matches, how they turned out. But congratulations to all those who made the TV show, and looking forward to seeing what happens in the team event.
All right, folks. Andrew Anderson once again joining us here today. Team USA, USBC Board of Directors, PBA Player of the Year in 2018, three-time national champion. So big thanks to Andrew for joining us. It's crazy, but we have quickly concluded today's action. So we have our finalists. We're going to go ahead and get some photos, get talking to them, do some other cool things. The ITC practice sessions are a little bit later today, so they'll get their opportunity to start preparing for competition tomorrow, which kicks off at bright and early, 7 a.m. Eastern for the men's qualifying round. Then they will have their first round of match play at 11 a.m. and then we'll have a break. Then the women will qualify at 2 p.m. and then have their first round of match play at 6 p.m. So full day tomorrow. Bowling coverage is done for the day.
Competition for the Intercollegiate Singles Championships. Now, moving on to the TV matches in our women's division. Our first match on Saturday will feature our number 8 seed from Indiana Tech, Marissa Carey, and her opponent, the number 12 seed from North Carolina A&T University, Anna Elijah. Competing in our second match, from Delaware State University, our number 3 seed, Katie Robb, and her opponent from McKendree, our number 18 seed, Isabel Allen. Ladies, congratulations on advancing to the Intercollegiate Singles Championship television shows. In our men's division, our first match will feature our number 2 seed, Pete Burgos from Calumet College of St. Joseph, and our number 3 seed from St. Ambrose University, Jordan Monins. Competing in our second match, our number 1 seed from Wichita State, Alec Keplinger, and his opponent, our number 12 seed from Lindenwood, Andrew Sachs. Gentlemen, congratulations on advancing. Those 8 individuals, I do ask that you please come and see me at the front counter before you leave today. Also, for the 8 of you, I do need to make sure that your bowling equipment stays in the building. So please return all of your bowling equipment there to the paddock. If you are also bowling in the team event and using different bowling equipment, please make sure to let tournament staff know so we can make sure to keep those additional balls in the building.
All right, Zach Barton making the final call there. Practice will be coming up. We have our matchups. We will be getting a story out on bowl.com a little bit later tonight. But folks, we are not done on Bowl TV today. So once again, we will have the Collegiate Awards Show at 7 p.m. Eastern today on Bowl TV. We will be announcing the NCBCA, the IBMA, and the NTCA All-Americans and Players of the Year, along with recognizing the club, the NAIA, and the NJCAA All-American teams, which have already been announced, so be on the lookout for that 7 p.m. Eastern here on Bowl TV. But as we wrap up, just once again, a big thank you to the United States Bowling Congress and USBC Board of Directors, the Bowling Proprietors Association of America, and the BPAA Board, Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider of the Intercollegiate Singles and Team Championships, our gold partners Rotogrip and Storm, the collegiate coaching organizations, the NCBCA, NTCA, NJCAA, NAIA, and the club, our host Convention and Visitors Bureau, West Michigan Sports Commission, the host venue and staff here at Spectrum Entertainment Complex, of course the Eaton family, a big thank you to them for their hospitality this week. Of course, all you great folks in the Bowl TV community and the fans. Can't do it without you. We definitely appreciate it. So for that and the IBC Youth Development Team, from all of us here at Bowl TV, Jason Thomas and our special guest Andrew Anderson, I'm Aaron Smith. Thank you, and we'll see you a little bit later for the award show. And folks, remember, on Bowl TV, bowling lives here. We'll see you in a little bit, everybody.